Lime is a good bottle of wine shared among friends. Our search ends where it began, here on this big blue marble.
Astronomers say that while their telescopes were pointing at Mars, they never even noticed the planet that was right in front of them. NASA now plans to appreciate what they already have. The agency's latest report, entitled Wonder is Everywhere, Finding the Beauty in the Everyday, calls for further study of the little things that truly give life meaning.
Warm rain on a summer day. The smell of pine trees touching the worn paper of your favorite book. That's what's always made us happy. Not some asteroid a million miles away.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
Welcome to Free Talk Live. You are invited to join us right here. If you want to take control of the airwaves, you can. Our number here is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We have the Discord on-air call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm. Joining you in the studio tonight, it's Ian.
And Steven.
And Derek J.
Steven and Derek J. joining us from AnyPay.
Yeah.
AnyPay.global. And, of course, we'll catch up with what's going on with AnyPay, because there's some pretty cool, at least new features that I discovered this week about AnyPay, so we can get into that a little bit later on. Also on the way, the latest out of Venezuela. I did see a video by the Dash folks this week showing off some of the progress that they're making there in Venezuela. For listeners who aren't familiar, most of the hosts on this show are pretty big fanatics when it comes to cryptocurrency. In fact, that's what you guys do for a living. You run AnyPay.global, and that helps local businesses accept cryptocurrency. Have you guys managed to break into the Venezuelan market quite yet? How are things going there for AnyPay? Is there any action?
There are only a few people using it from time to time in Venezuela.
Where are the big hotspots for AnyPay right now?
Thailand and New Hampshire are the biggest ones. Then Nigeria is soon after.
Also, Central Europe, Germany has a number of real places that are using it regularly.
Yeah. Excellent. I know that for listeners who are unfamiliar, you can go to helpmetakebitcoin.com, and that'll help you walk through the steps of getting started accepting cryptocurrencies. But like the Dash Latin America people, it seems like they're just using the normal Dash wallet. I'm not sure if they have a point of sale that they're even utilizing there to make things smoother or easier. But they've got organization, that's for darn sure. They seem to have a lot of people on the ground there doing things, reaching out. I wasn't really blown away by the number of transactions that they were touting, given that they were claiming 600 plus businesses that were taking Dash. They were only targeting a dozen or 2 dozen transactions in a time. I forget what the time frame was. I don't know if it was per month or per week or something, but it wasn't I felt like we beat that in Keene.
Yeah. It looks to me so Venezuela is obviously in a pretty desperate situation. The people there, their money is failing and they need food to eat. And people who have more around the world want to use their privilege to help the people there. And help them eat, and do the things that they need to be self-respecting human beings who can feed their family and keep their head up. They're victims of the government, So people who see that in cryptocurrency are like, I'm going to send money here, and they send a lot of money there, and hopefully that will solve the problem. I don't know. I don't see it. There's a lot of people in Dash throwing money at Venezuela, and I don't know. It's helping.
I don't think it's a bad idea. I think that that a place like Venezuela, where the currency is being hyperinflated like crazy, I think cryptocurrency, whether it's Dash or Bitcoin Cash or whatever we're talking about. I mean, obviously, Bitcoin BTC is useless in a place like that because of the fees. But most of the cryptocurrencies would be very, very useful for those people because it will protect them against the ravages of hyperinflation.
You say that BTC is useless because of the fees, but I do talk to people in Venezuela regularly about what currencies they're using, and BTC is still among the most popular.
It's definitely number one, and what they use it for is they buy it, and then they hold on to it, and then later, when they need local currency, they sell it.
Mm-hmm. Just because Bitcoin BTC is more likely to kind of go up in value quicker than some of the other.
It's not that
cryptos.
it's not going up in value necessarily. It's that it's a thing that they can buy that isn't the Bolivar,
right?
Because it's tanking in value constantly,
and they expect a fee. If they're moving money from one place to another, or their family is sending money from Colombia, someone who has escaped goes to Colombia, works, and then sends it back to Venezuela.
Right.
They do it through a merchant who will handle the BTC, sell it on the local market, local Bitcoins there, and then give cash to the person in Venezuela.
And anything's better
BTC.
than the Bolivar, there's no doubt about it. But I mean, I just sent a Bitcoin transaction today to a Bitcoin vending machine to restock because I help administer a couple of the machines here in Keene. And it cost over $7 worth of fees just to send a Bitcoin transaction. Now, it was a little larger than a typical Bitcoin as far as the number of bytes or whatever, but even the typical Bitcoin transaction, these like today, is going to be $2 or $3. And if you're in a place like Venezuela, that's a significant chunk of your monthly earnings at this point to be able to do that, which is why it's nice to have these other cryptocurrencies out there that work just as well as far as you can send value from point A to point B with Dash or Bitcoin Cash, but it only costs a few cents at most typically to do those transactions. So hopefully we will see greater adoption of these alternatives in these places.
But that would be great. I think it's awesome what the people in Dash are doing in terms of educating people about the existence of another cryptocurrency. Because most of the people that I've talked to who are using this for remittance, the families send Bitcoin to a business, and then the family gets cash. They're using Bitcoin because there's like no local Dash. There's local Bitcoins, and you can. It's the biggest one. It's the one people know, and the people who are receiving the cash, most of the people in Venezuela, they don't know what Bitcoin is. They don't know anything about it. They're not using it.
Right.
They're just getting sent some money.
We're in an awkward phase, right, where Bitcoin is in the news constantly, or at least it seems that way to us, right, because we're more keyed into the world of cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
But it is definitely getting into the news. I mean, it was on 60 Minutes. I don't know if you guys saw that that presentation. It was like maybe 2 weeks ago. We actually played the audio here. Anderson Cooper, who used to be on CNN, former CIA apparently agent, he was the host of what was a 13-minute long news package all about Bitcoin.
Well, he was laughing at the Bitcoin pizza guy.
I would say he was laughing with the Bitcoin pizza guy uncomfortably about losing, $80 million, or not losing, but spending what ended up becoming, more than $80 million worth of Bitcoin on pizzas. And obviously the guy, wasn't feeling good about that later on.
Really?
I mean,
how could he not feel good about it? Everyone should be happy. If you like Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency at all,
you should thank
you
him.
owe an enormous debt to this. What's his name? Laszlo?
That's true, but he learned the lesson that many people are yet to learn, that you have, even if you're an enthusiast and you want to spend all the time, you have to save money.
Yes, you've got to buy more if you can.
You have to save Bitcoins always, and whichever one you're using, save that one.
Right. Well, of course, back then it was just this little, trinket that didn't mean anything to most of the people who had acquired it. And there's plenty of people in our community, in the libertarian, liberty, voluntarist, anarchist community, who felt the same way. It was like, oh yeah, what's this? Oh, it's kind of cool. Here, you can have it. And like it didn't. It didn't click for people, and it won't, right? Like for most people, they're not going to catch the vision. It didn't for me. Like I didn't catch the vision. It was Roger Ver who did. He heard us talking about it on the air on Free Talk Live. Then he saw like, oh my God, this could help take down the government. Basically, like he saw that crystal clear, and he put money into it, and he did hold on to it.
Did they bring that up in the 60 Minutes interview?
Roger Ver wasn't mentioned.
No, not Roger. The replacement for state services of providing money.
There was a comment where they actually interviewed a Federal Reserve chairperson, one of the bureaucrats who runs the Fed, and they asked her, or Anderson Cooper did ask her something to the extent of, well, the Bitcoin advocates say their form of money is better, and he kind of made a good summary of like why Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies are better than the government money system. And he gave her a chance to respond to that. And all she really had to say was, well, the government backs our money. I mean, she really had nothing else besides, well, FDIC, government, people trust us.
Good.
That's all she had. She had no argument whatsoever. And they only really gave her just a short moment. So it really, you could look at the package as mostly in favor of crypto, at the very least, not particularly
in favor
nasty.
Of crypto or in favor of BTC?
They were talking about, I mean, obviously the history of Bitcoin, but I think they mentioned cryptocurrencies quite a few times.
Okay.
Just sort of generally during
Interesting.
that. Yeah, it was a good piece by the mainstream media. 60 minutes. That's a big deal. 855 450 free. We can talk about Venezuela and what's going on and how life is getting more difficult even for criminals there. Coming up.
I'm crazy about My Magic Mud. This is the most important oral care product created this millennium, and I'm not kidding. We all have different opinions on politics and issues, but we all have mouths. And I want yours to be as clean as possible, with teeth as bright as they were meant to be. I will never be without My Magic Mud. It's a little surprising, but man, does it work. If you only listen to one thing I say ever, go to mymagicmud.com and get 20% off with code FTL. mymagicmud.com, code FTL.
You love Bitcoin. It's the future, right? Well, no, not if everyone stops using it. I mean, think about it. How many places in your town take Bitcoin? One? None? Let's be real. If this Bitcoin thing is ever going to happen, it's going to need your help. The good news is the guys at AnyPay have your back. We built a website called helpmetakebitcoin.com. And it's a place you can send any business. And they'll be set up to take Bitcoin in 5 minutes. helpmetakebitcoin.com.
Are you concerned that the values that made America great are no longer taught in schools? Well, I am, so I got my son the Tuttle Twins children's book series.
My name is Jack, and I'm 11, and I just finished the Tuttle Twins series. It taught me about liberty, free market economics, and entrepreneurship.
Give all the young people in your life a chance at reason and clear thought, because they're not going to get it at school. There are 9 books in the series, and each one teaches a set of ideas that children aren't getting elsewhere. Go to TuttleTwins.com and use coupon code FTL to get 40% off. That's TuttleTwins.com. I believe the crypto winter is over. That, if true, means that crypto prices may be on the rise and more news will be on the horizon. Get the latest and freshest crypto news at news.bitcoin.com. They have a real staff that does real reporting, not the rehashed stuff you're getting from most crypto news outlets. I am proud and happy to say that news.bitcoin.com is my first stop for all news crypto related. News.bitcoin.com. Don't forget that you can get a free Bitcoin Cash wallet and free Bitcoin Cash at free.bitcoin.com. Free crypto at free.bitcoin.com.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, and you can take control of the airwaves here if you want. And bring up anything, though we've got the latest from Venezuela on the way, the absolutely dire, horrible situation that those people, millions of them, are living in as we speak. In the studio tonight, it's Ian.
And Derek J.
And Steven Zeiler.
And you guys are from AnyPay. As I mentioned earlier, it is the place for local business owners to go to get set up wherever you are on the planet. How many currencies do you guys support? Not crypto, but like the fiat
168.
I didn't even know there were that many currencies in the world.
Isn't that surprising? We
Wow.
wanted to support all of
The
them.
question is, will there be more or less in the future?
Yeah.
Hopefully fewer fiat currencies. I'd love to see those die out because cryptocurrency is awesome. And
I'd like to see more because, like, what if there's a Virginia currency and a Utah currency and
But
a New
fiat?
Jersey? Yeah, why not?
I mean, why advocate for more of those? They're
It's
not
fun.
helping people.
I would rather have a California bill than a DC bill.
I'd rather have like an Apple bill or
Like the company?
a Disney currency
Oh,
or stuff. You know,
Disney has that. They've got like Disney bucks or something. You can spend them.
We don't support Disney bucks yet.
Nah,
We've got
probably not worth
not
it.
yet.
So we got work to do.
Well, the only problem is you could only do that at Disneyland, and that's what a private currency does. Is it's like a coupon.
You know, AnyPay is used at an amusement park
didn't
in
know
Germany.
In
It's like
Austria.
in Vienna.
That's so cool. Is
Yeah.
that newish? Like when did that
They
start?
didn't tell
Last
us
year.
anything about it. They just started up using it, as anyone can. There's no.
How'd you find out?
I started seeing some of these invoices. I was like, what's going on?
and they
over
put in
here?
their
And
email
they-
address, and we looked it up.
They added themselves to the map.
Okay.
So you can add yourself to the map. This app says, do you want people to be able to find you
Yeah.
if they want to use cryptocurrency?
When you're setting up your business.
Yeah, and it's like a restaurant in an amusement park.
Wow. Well, if you ever go to Germany, you'll know where to go.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Right.
we have to go.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Well, and earlier today, a guy who rents boats in Cape Cod got set up with AnyPay. Now,
Awesome.
He's been saying he accepts on the highway. He has this sign that says I accept Bitcoin and Litecoin.
Yep.
He says no one ever driving by pulls over.
Well, I mean, it's like I was saying earlier, we're still in the early days of this. I mean, I understand, people want things to go faster, and I think we all would love to see adoption all of a sudden shoot up. And maybe at some point we'll hit whatever point of, saturation where, the adoption curve starts to really go northbound. And I don't know how long that's going to be. Nobody really does.
We will. Derek's mother the other day bought like a hotel and plane tickets with Bitcoins.
Her
and
first time?
Yeah, can you believe it?
all on her own.
I did not coach her through this. She called me and told me that she had just booked a resort with Bitcoin.
So wait, she already had Bitcoin that you'd given her or something? Or like where did she?
Yeah, she's had Bitcoin.
So she's been holding on to it? That's
yeah,
cool.
she's been using Bitcoin with me holding her hand for years.
Right.
But
Now she did it all by herself.
she just booked it. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, she was really proud. I mean, she's in her 60s.
Yeah.
Most people listening to this, I don't know. But
Well, one of the first companies in Keene that I think you might have even helped set up, Roberta down at Corner News.
Yeah.
She, a couple of years ago, or like a year or two ago, she told me that she did her whole vacation with cryptocurrency. She like bought her hotel and, when I forget which website she went to, but, spent her crypto on her vacation. And it was like this crypto made her vacation possible.
it feels really good.
Yeah.
And also about these people who want crypto customers, or maybe you're out there and you would accept Bitcoin, but people aren't coming to you asking to use it. This guy had a big sign on the side of the road. No one ever stopped. But if his business is on the map that says, "Oh, we take Bitcoin," then people will go to you. They will find you.
become a destination.
Yeah, if you become a destination,
Right.
exactly.
And the map looks good. How can people go and see it?
Anypaymap.com.
Now, why did you decide to register a separate? I just noticed you did this recently because it used to be, it still is, I think, map.anypay.global.
What a mouthful.
He
It's too
thinks the
much.
dots are too much.
Yeah.
He thinks
You could be right.
A
.com is the
global?
only
Are
way.
you kidding? That's not real.
People don't even know that .global
It's
is
a
an
website.
internet website.
Like our website
It's
is
true.
anypay.global.
Yeah.
Who wants to go to that? I don't even want to go to that. But anypaymap.com is where you can see the map of all the places.
No,
that-
you're right. With all the weird, unusual domain names now that they have, the TLDs as they call them, the dot whatevers. It would be interesting to see like polling results to see how many people recognize those things as websites, like we do, but we're internet people. Like, when you're putting that on an advertisement, on a television commercial, what percentage of the TV audience, knows that Edge.app or AnyPay.global or, one of these unusual
Everyone will know eventually.
I think it's totally lost right now. It's lost in the fuzz.
I wonder about that.
Yeah.
.io.
It's just a way for these registrars or whatever to make an extra buck. Yeah, they're like, well, yeah, we'll sell you that nice juicy domain.
Well, .cash is pretty fun.
Yeah, .cash is cool.
I mean, there's some that I really like. I mean, Forkfest.party. That's a cool.
Yeah,
that's a cool domain.
Party.
That Forkfest.party, people like it, and I think they understand to go to it, and it's good.
Well, I mean, but again, Forkfest is likely going to appeal to somebody who has some understanding of the internet, because this is an internet migration. The reason why the three of us are here in New Hampshire is because of the migration of Liberty people that has been coming here for well over a decade now. I mean, you kind of had to be keyed into the internet in the first place to even hear about this. So we're still marketing mostly to, I would say, well-connected internet people.
For me, it was YouTube videos of Porkfest and people giving talks at very early Porkfests, and that going on the internet, and I found out.
Didn't you meet him at Porkfest?
I did meet him at Porkfest many years later.
Porkfest, not Forkfest.
Oh, Porkfest. What did I say? Porkfest.
The Porcupine Freedom Festival.
Yeah, the New Hampshire Freedom Festival.
And it worked out. That's one of the best things that's ever come.
You could say that. Yeah.
It's one of the best things that's come out of that.
We're a good partnership.
We got Sarah on the line here. She's in New Mexico. Sarah, you're on Free Talk Live. Hello.
Yeah, so I just want to bring up again that, I think New Mexico, our state, would be running a lot better if we had like full-time salaried and full-time, extended, representatives in our state.
Oh, you want them to work constantly because New Mexico has a limited period of time. Is it once every 2 years in New Mexico? Do you know, Sarah?
So, I think we are the one with the least amount of sessions, like 1 month, 1 year, and that's financial.
So you want them in there making laws all the time.
Well, she's right. The state, Sarah, you're totally right. The state would work more and better if they were paid more. The thing is that actually the state is bad, and we're going to bankrupt it so that they don't work at all.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, what I'm talking about, Sarah, is that we don't want your state, and we're going to bankrupt it. We're going to remove its source of funding and control, and it's going to lose the rest of its tiny bit of legitimacy that it has, and you're going to have to find a new hobby.
Tell me, name other states who has a 1 month session 1 year and 2 month sessions the next year.
Yeah, see, Sarah, we're almost there already. We are winning so hard with your state. Look,
it'll be so easy to squish it out of existence.
It's basically done. It's over, Sarah. You might as well just forget about it. The state in New Mexico, we've won the battles that you didn't even know.
We've won, you just haven't figured it out yet.
There's been a battle going on to destroy the state of New Mexico, and we're winning, and it's almost over. So, might as well forget about it.
Thanks for the call, Sarah. Toll-free number here, 855-450-FREE. She didn't know what to say to that. That was awesome. 855-450-3733. Somebody clipped that on Twitch. It was pretty good. 855-450-FREE. You can join us here and take control of the airwaves. Bring up whatever you want. It is Free Talk Live.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com, or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists, get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Uncovering the secrets and exposing the lies. That's what the readers of freedomsphoenix.com get every day. freedomsphoenix.com, constantly providing the information, the real news about government policies, and the real relationship we all have with the coercive government. The real condition of the economy, innovations in technology, breakthroughs in energy, health, and computer science. Learn the truth well before it's admitted to in the lamestream media. The corporate media, nothing more than distributors of government propaganda, but now there's an alternative. freedomsphoenix.com. Constant news updates on the issues that affect your life in the most important ways. With liberty and property under constant attack, freedomsphoenix.com provides the understanding behind the propaganda, and it encourages the participation of its readers. Go to freedomsphoenix.com. That's freedoms with an S, phoenix.com. freedomsphoenix.com. The revolution between the ears has already happened.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless free market non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Don't you hate that feeling in the pit of your stomach when the police pull you over? Most people have no idea how to handle it properly, and they promptly get fed into the municipal fee-generating meat grinder. Or maybe you recall that feeling you get when you go to the mailbox and see one or more letters from the IRS. You get a sense of impending doom, don't you? So let me ask you, if you could learn how to use the law to beat the IRS, traffic tickets, almost any courtroom scenario, collectors, credit card debt, and even mortgage debt because of fraud perpetrated against you, would that be worth knowing about? Don't laugh. Investigate. Check out the life-changing benefits of the Lighthouse Law Club at their website, lighthouselaw.club. That's lighthouselaw.club. And while you're at it, visit the Lighthouse Law Club YouTube channel. You might be in for a pleasant surprise.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Hey, it's Free Talk Live. You're invited to join us here if you want. You can take control of the airwaves. We've got Venezuela to talk about on the way here tonight. What's life like? Because we talked a lot about Venezuela over the last several years here on Free Talk Live, and read many a news story about how difficult life can be for the folks that are trying to live there and losing weight, along with not being able to get the food that they need or like basic medicines and things like that. But what's life like for the criminals in Venezuela, the people who live off of the efforts of others by robbing them and things like that? There's an interesting story that the AP put together about that. We'll share it with you. Coming up here, it's Ian, Stephen, and Derek in the studio tonight. And also, I did mention in just the last segment, Forkfest. It's coming up. In fact, 3 weeks from today, it'll be over. So it's going to be here quickly. We want you to join us. We were just talking off the air a few moments ago about what AnyPay's got cooking up for Forkfest coming up here in just a few weeks. You guys are going to be doing would it be best to call it a rave tent?
It's a lounge.
A lounge, okay.
Okay. It's got super cool, chill house music, deep house all day.
Not every day. I saw a schedule showing like trance, maybe.
Yeah, well, at night for a couple of hours, there's special music
so you can have it all
I'm
day.
DJing. Otherwise, it's just all day, really nice, chill place.
Wow,
it's a huge geodesic dome. It's gonna have like couches and stuff where you can chill out and chat. And it's like a salon for discussing ideas.
So cool.
forum at forkfest.party has a post by Steven from several months ago that explains Capital Interest Music Lounge.
The lounge, right.
At Forkfest 2019. Relax, discuss, indulge in excellent music, and occasionally dance.
Right. And then so trance night, it's going to be cool. I've been putting together some what I consider to be trance, so we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see how that overlaps with your, I'm
Very
sure,
cool.
excellent trance taste.
Forkfest, you could go because why not? It's free. All you have to do is pay for your campsite, and then you can even share your campsite with other people if you want.
Frankly, you probably don't even have to do that.
Well, I mean...
But you should.
There is a $5 a day fee the campground would like you to pay if you're just going to be kind of hanging out, and I think that's more than reasonable.
Oh, yeah.
But, because, somebody's got to clean the bathrooms.
And if you don't want to do that, there are hotels nearby.
That's true. There's the Cabot that's just down the street, which is pretty nice. In fact, I just talked to the owner of the restaurant inside the Cabot,
Old Bostonian,
today. The old Bostonian, and she is still open, so that's good because restaurants, if they make it past a year, it's a good sign, right? Like most of them don't.
Yeah.
And so she's still open, but nobody had spent cryptocurrency in the last year. So as soon as Forkfest and Porkfest were over last year, none of the North Country Liberty crypto people had gone there. So now there's a North Country crypto group, and I happen to be in it.
Right.
And so I said to them today, I was like, hey, did you guys know that you could actually spend your cryptocurrency? Because they've been having meetings
and
now.
Did they know?
They didn't.
Oh, of course. They got to move their
plus
meetings.
they get cash back with AnyPay.
Right.
Well, with Dash and Bitcoin Cash.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because I think she's actually willing to take Doge and Zcash as well. So,
all right.
So she's one of the more accepting.
I'm totally bringing Doge.
Yeah. So she's so super cool. She's super excited. So local businesses are excited to have us there, and it's going to be a good time. You can go to forkfest.party, and that is a website, forkfest.party. That's where you can link over to the forum and the Telegram chat room, which now has almost 80 people in the Telegram chat. It's super busy. There's people talking about putting together a potluck dinner, I think now, and there's
it's so great.
Yeah.
There's so much spontaneous order
There's
happening
a calendar
with this
that's
party.
being put together, and there's talk about, how can we decentralize the calendar and make it so, more people can access it.
It is so cool what is happening with this.
I love it.
Yeah.
So we're going to be there June 13th through the 18th. It's coming up fast. Still plenty of time. Still plenty of space. We're not going to sell out the campground. It's only year number 3. But I suspect it's going to be bigger this year than it was last year. And it was certainly bigger in year 2 than it was in year number 1. So it's gonna be good.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. Absolutely. Go to forkfest.party, and we will look forward to seeing you there. We'll be broadcasting from the event. So let's continue here, or get into this story about what's going on in Venezuela. The AP piece here shows a photograph of a man in a hoodie, and he's got a black mask or dark blue mask over his face. In his hand, he has a revolver. And very, dark-skinned Latin gentleman.
Is this like a stock photo or a real photo
this
of
is
a criminal?
Photo of El Negrito, who is the person with whom they interviewed, 24-year-old. Says he's lost track of his murder count and is going to tell us about what life is like as a terrible criminal in a very poor place, which is being racked by bad economic policies by the government. But he's not he's obviously not doing particularly well for himself, or at the very least, if he has any money, he's not showing it. He's in a sort of a ramshackle looking. It looks like a shack. It doesn't have anything on the walls. There's just a stool and a bed, and him sitting on the bed, and that's it.
That's actually luxurious for Venezuela.
For Caracas. You've never been there, have you?
No, I've never been there.
Okay. Me neither, thank goodness. It's not a place that people who don't want to get robbed shouldn't go, because it's pretty dangerous from what I understand on the streets there. People are desperate, and in desperate times,
I don't
people
know.
do desperate things.
I do hear these news stories, but then I hear conflicting reports also from people on the ground.
Well, RT says it's just great there. The food's all over the place,
well,
no
not
problem.
Just that. Well, okay, fine.
Prices
RT,
are probably pretty low.
That's going to be pretty biased. But there's one guy who's real into AnyPay, and he used to go around Europe trying to set up businesses. He's in Caracas now, and he's saying the people are so friendly. He can get
so bad,
taxi rides. Yeah, it's not like he's saying they're suffering.
Well, the feared street gangster El Negrito sleeps with a pistol under his pillow and says he's lost track of his murder count. But despite his hardened demeanor, he's quick to gripe about how Venezuela's failing economy is cutting into his profits. Firing a gun has become a luxury. Bullets are expensive now at $1 apiece. And with less cash circulating on the street, he says robberies just don't pay like they used to. For the 24-year-old, that has all given way to a simple fact. Even for Venezuelan criminals, it's become harder to get by. He says if you empty your clip, you're shooting off $15, said El Negrito, who spoke to the Associated Press on the condition that he be identified only by his street name. And, isn't it interesting how the media is able to find these criminals?
This is so odd. You know, the media lies so much that it's impossible to believe this story.
You don't buy it?
It follows logic, though. I mean, as a predator or as like a pest, what's the term? You need a host.
A tick.
A parasite.
A parasite. You need a healthy host in order to profit.
Right. You don't want to suck blood that's infected.
Yeah. So if you're sitting there sucking the blood of someone who's dying, like the Venezuelan economy, then you're not doing so hot.
No, it makes sense, and that's why it's a credible story. But it makes more to me. It seems like it would just be easier for them to make up the story. Everyone would say, "Oh, this makes sense," and there probably is a guy like this. This is probably representative of a number of people, but
But it's not uncommon when you look at news media finding like a criminal to interview. They can do it, and the police can't. Right? Like if this guy is real. And there are stories where they have definitely, media has found certain wanted criminals, and they've been able to interview them while the police have been completely unsuccessful at doing it. So for some reason,
because they're probably megalomaniacal,
and they want the attention.
Yeah.
So he says it's. So he said he wanted to only be identified by his street name, El Negrito, and photographed wearing a hoodie and face mask to avoid attracting unwelcomed attention. He said, "You lose your pistol, or if the police take it, you're throwing away $800." In something of an unexpected silver lining, says the AP, to the country's all-consuming economic crunch, experts say armed assaults and killings are plummeting in one of the world's most violent nations. At the Venezuelan Observatory of Violence, a Caracas-based nonprofit, researchers estimate homicides have plunged up to 20% over the last 3 years.
Wow.
Based on tallies from media clippings and sources at local morgues. So maybe you're right. Maybe things are getting a little safer for whatever reason. Maybe the criminals are just so ill. They're so malnourished, they can't even get out in the streets. They can't fight anybody.
Are you talking about the state?
Plausible.
No, the normal criminals. The ones that don't have an army backing them. We'll continue here because the state criminals, the state-run criminals, they're still pretty well fed. Like Nicolas Maduro, the president there, he's got a few pounds on him. He's doing all right. He could skip a few.
He's
meals.
A fatty. That's what. He's eating so many croissants.
What would you like to hang out with Penn Jillette? He's keynoting Freedom Fest this year. I, for one, am thrilled. Freedom Fest is the largest liberty-oriented gathering in the world. They take a Big Ten approach with libertarians, conservatives, liberals, anarchists, capitalists, and just open-minded people mingling together to hear real debates, share real solutions, and converse freely. This year's theme is the Wild West, a time of liberty and opportunity, or a time of anarchy and violence. Maybe both. Go to freedomfest.com/FTL and get your tickets now. freedomfest.com/FTL. Not convinced yet? Hey, I understand. It's a high-end event. Even with coupon code FTL50. Sure, you're likely to receive investment advice that'll make that sum seem paltry, but I have something special for you. Go to freedomfest.com/FTL and you'll get the 5 best speeches from last year for free. Call it a test drive. Do yourself a favor and go to freedomfest.com/FTL. freedomfest.com/FTL. Use coupon code FTL50 for a discount.
Do you own a timeshare? Well, you probably now realize it wasn't a good idea, and the financial strain it's putting on you and your family has you stressed, and you probably think there's no way out. This is Steve Sanchez, and you know I've been an advocate for hardworking Americans just like you for 27 years, and there's a way out of this financial nightmare, and my friends at Wesley Financial, the leading timeshare cancellations company in the country, can help you cancel your timeshare guaranteed. Being lied to, misled, and pressured into buying a timeshare doesn't have to be your story. but freedom of being out of it can be. I have a special free information kit that will give you the step-by-step process that Wesley Financial uses to get you out of your timeshare, guaranteed. Call 1-800-501-6100. That's 1-800-501-6100 or visit stevesanchez.info. You don't have to have the financial nightmare of a timeshare any longer. Wesley Financial can help you get out, guaranteed. Call 1-800-501-6100.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com. The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
Hey, it's Free Talk Live. You dial in toll-free and bring up whatever's on your minds. We're talking about Venezuela and how just absolutely bad things are, even for the criminals. Not the government criminals, but the other criminals, the ones that don't have any legitimacy. And I don't know how much legitimacy even the government goons have there in Venezuela these days. I'm sure a lot of people are pretty tired of the scam currency that they are operating, the Venezuelan bolivar and the petro, which, from what we can tell, doesn't actually exist in any meaningful shape or form. You can't really get it.
No, but Maduro said that they raised $5 billion the first day, just more than any ICO.
Yeah, he's lying.
There's no publicly verifiable blockchain. You can't even show it.
You can't get it. We've looked and we've tried, and Chris Reitman put the wallet on his phone, which is like a scary thing to do, to put a government wallet on your device, but he did it and he couldn't do anything with it. It's impossible. Doesn't exist. So you can bring up whatever you want here. We'll get deeper into Venezuela if we get the chance. Your calls and thoughts, of course, are welcome. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Let's go to Tom in New Hampshire. Tom, you're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead.
It was 5 years ago today, 28 May 2014, when the cops threw a flash grenade into a playpen where a little boy was sleeping.
Oh, I remember
Cornelia,
that story.
Georgia.
Did the baby die from that, or did it just get severe burns?
No, he got severe burns. He's going to be suffering terribly for the rest of his life.
Yeah, sure.
And another reason why you should teach your children to hate cops, because not just all the cops that were participating in that attack, they're all the police forces of the hostile government.
I don't think that helps, honestly, and I understand why people hate. I understand why they're angry. That is a very awful situation for anybody to be involved with, especially the parents and the child itself. I mean, it's terrifying what happened there. But I don't think hate is going to heal the world's problems. I don't think that it's going to persuade. I don't think that it's going to help. But again, I understand why people feel that way. It's the natural human response is to respond with anger when confronted with horrors like that.
It's just more proof that no human being will ever be safe until the last cop is dead. Let God sort them out.
Thanks for the call, Tom. Appreciate it. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE. It's harsh. It's
Tom
harsh.
from New Hampshire.
Yep, 855-450-3733. Let's talk to Bad Slave. He's on the line here. Are you there, Bad Slave, on Discord?
Yes, I am. How you doing, Ian?
We have you. You're on with Ian, Derek, and Steven. Go ahead.
Good to speak with both of you. And Steven, I want to give you kudos for a wonderful comeback for Sarah in
best part of the show tonight. I don't think we can top it.
I just can't stand Sarah. I wish Ian would ban her. Now, like, maybe I can get him to make her pay to call in or something.
I want her to just quit calling because she's so frustrated. That's what I'd like to have happen.
Well, but you guys, it's important to feel strongly about what you hear on talk radio, right? Like if you hate Sarah, then you have a strong feeling. That means you're paying attention. You care about what it is that's coming out of the speaker. It's having an effect on you. Even if it's one that you don't feel good about, it's having an effect.
I actually don't hate anyone.
That's good.
That's a completely wasted emotion.
I agree. It's not productive because hate never hurts the person you're hating.
Anybody that claims it of others is likely mistaken. But anyway, he's so wrong. I mean,
she's on welfare. I mean, she was raised to believe in the government. The government has taken care of her for her entire life. She's in her 50s or 60s or some early 60s, maybe late 50s or something.
She's like another species of creature. She doesn't even belong in our category.
Well, that's why we live in New Hampshire.
What's scary is she is the same species of creature, and it's a warning to the rest of us of what happens when you change the conditions.
Sure,
right.
You could have been her.
It could have been me. It could have been any of us. And any of us could have been Nazi collaborators or any of this.
It's the Stanford prison experiment, except with welfare. It's what happens to a person when you give them everything.
I just can't accept that there's no way she can't put it together to do some basic job.
She could. I mean, the claim that she's got bipolar or whatever, and that's because I've asked her about this before in the past. Like, well, Sarah, you can dial a phone and talk to us, so obviously you could do like a customer service job.
But she is doing a job. Look, there are people out there who want to pay for people to do nothing and call into talk radio all the time. They're like, they feel good about paying for welfare, so she's doing that job for them.
That's true. They get a psychic benefit.
Yeah, she's got a salary. She's working hard.
But anyway, I think that we should come up with something like what Steve said every time she calls in, and just put it back on her and own it. I mean, otherwise we're heading towards Venezuela, just as we see in South America.
That's definitely true. I mean, the government has a huge amount of influence over people and what they think and what they believe, and the media, the government schools are who educates the people who end up creating the news media, and of course they all look at the government as this expert group of people, these leaders. They call them leaders constantly. The attitude of the media towards them is very deferential, very worshipful. It's very rare that you'll see them questioning the states. They may not like one politician or another, but they never question the fundamental premises of the state. So, these are part of the things that we're trying to do. We're the counterbalance, and we're not a very heavy one. We're only on 200 radio stations, and all the great websites out there. Libertarian media is not very large.
Heavier and heavier, though.
Surely there are tons of people out there just like her who may even be listening in. And I think the best message for them to hear is that the state is done. It's over. Forget about it. Because they're not hearing that, and it's true.
Right.
They probably don't even understand it when you say it. The state. What do you mean? The ground? The trees? You know, like people don't understand. Like the word "the state" can mean a different thing. Like to us, it means something very specific. The state is this idea that it's somehow okay to use violence against our neighbors and in some sort of an organizational, institutionalized system. It's insane to us. To them, it's like, oh, I love the state of New Hampshire. It's pretty. Look at the rocks and the trees. It's beautiful. What do you mean you don't like the state?
And the actual truth of it is that I've renamed the state the Destructobot because that's what they are.
They do act very robotic at times, don't they? And thank you for the call tonight.
And they destroy.
Yep,
I mean, there is only destruction for them to produce whatever they do.
Oh, but no, they can point to
nothing else.
Oh, they can point to the people that get welfare checks. See, that's not destructing. They're helping people get health care and
destroying
school lunches.
It's destroying the capacity of those people to actually enter the commerce.
The productive economy. Yeah,
Very
totally
well
agree.
said.
Totally agree. Thank you, Bad Slave. Good call.
Great commentary. Bad slave.
That guy is
and
bad.
I like Destructobot. Yeah, he is a bad slave. Destructobot is a good term. I'm looking for a new term because you bring up that definitions are important. The words we use matter, and when you say the state, it means two different things to different people. So we got to get on the same page about what we're talking about.
Right.
And everyone can be against Destructobot. So that's a step in the right direction.
Well, a Destructobot has its place if we're not talking about the state. Like, do you ever see the BattleBots show where they put robots in an arena and have them try to
one has
destroy
a saw
one
and one has like
That's
a hammer.
pretty awesome.
Yeah,
that's
it's
the
a
kind
great
of
show.
Destructobot.
It's a really good show.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, Sarah wasn't talking about the state as we know, just like enforcers and all of this. She was specifically talking about the legislature.
The legislatures,
and that point, I want to say those guys are going. They're going away because. And at one point, they were the best technology we had for organizing a larger group of people because there wasn't...
You think?
Yeah. Well, they were...
You don't think it was always a bad idea?
Well, okay, groups of people physically coming together in a central location to try to coordinate themselves, that was necessary, more necessary than now because of telecommunications.
Okay, but even back then... Was it really necessary, or was it just an excuse for the people who wanted to control others?
Yeah, no, they were always busybody types.
Well, the state, yeah, but like other groups of people getting together physically and like having meetings is no longer as necessary.
This is true.
Right, and people can communicate broadly to as many people as they want, like we're doing right now.
It's true. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE, and we can do those things and develop those things much faster than the state can do anything because it's the state. It's, it stays... as is. Doesn't change much. More coming up here, and that's another definition of the state. Like the state of the art. It's Free Talk Live. More on the way.
If you owe money to the IRS, you need to hear this. The IRS is cracking down on those who owe back taxes. It starts with a devastating letter, and if you don't act immediately, you could find yourself having your wages garnished or have a lien placed on your property. But there's a solution. Tax 10,000 can help. Avoid enforced compliance, where these holds on your income and seizure of your home could become a nightmare that just won't end. Call 800-239-9957 now and speak to one of our experts. 800-239-9957 is the number to link you directly to a tax resolution specialist who will negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. Working through the IRS Fresh Start program, all the forms will be handled for you. All you have to do is make the toll-free call. 800-239-9957. Find out if you qualify and possibly save yourself thousands of dollars, not to mention a lot of headaches. It could be the best call you've made today. That number again, 800-239-9957. The service does not provide tax settlement or legal services. We will refer you to a company that does provide such services. Often the IRS will not agree to any reduction in the amount owed. Not all taxpayers who owe more than $10,000 will qualify for a tax reduction program.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,285. Silver at $14.55. And Bitcoin is trading around $7,995. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, last week, the California Senate passed a bill that would establish limited state-chartered banks to serve the cannabis industry. Final passage of the legislation would remove a major federal roadblock in front of the developing industry in the state and further nullify federal prohibition in practice. The Free Thought Project reports that Senator Bob Herzog, a Democrat from California, along with a bipartisan coalition of 8 co-sponsors, filed Senate Bill 51 on December 4th. The legislation would create a self-contained banking system for the cannabis industry in California. Because marijuana remains illegal under federal law, cannabis businesses in states that have legalized marijuana remain effectively locked out of the banking system. If a federally chartered or insured financial institution touches marijuana money, it takes on significant legal risk. The federal government insures or charters virtually every bank in the U.S., and as a result, cannabis businesses have been forced to transact almost exclusively in cash. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven, and believes so strongly in the power of kratom, they're giving it away for free. Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. A coalition of approximately 600 people, including anti-fascists, communists, and other activists, many of them armed, showed up to confront a small group of Ku Klux Klan members who assembled in Dayton, Ohio. In total, only 9 Klansmen attended. The group had banners, one reading Honorable Sacred Knights of the Ku Klux Klan, and the other reading Diversity Equals Genocide. One held a sign reading It's Okay to be White, with the OK hand sign. News2Share.com reports they also waved KKK, American, and Confederate flags. The group assembled Saturday at Courthouse Square and had a barricade, 60 meters of empty space, 2 police lines, and 2 fences between them and the coalition of counter-demonstrators. Dayton City Manager Shelley Dickstein told the Dayton Daily News that the KKK rally cost the city about $650,000 in personnel and materials. Many activists from several groups came armed themselves, open-carrying rifles and handguns. 2 officers who dumped 18 rounds into a hostage to save her life have been found in violation of the department's policy, but have not been fired. That's according to a report from the Free Thought Project, which says that Los Angeles police previously released graphic body camera footage showing officers opening fire on a man armed with a knife who'd taken a 49-year-old woman hostage. In the shooting, police killed both the man with the knife and the innocent hostage. Now, the department is claiming that the officers who opened fire on the innocent woman are being disciplined. However, they will face no criminal charges and will likely not even be fired. Last week, a civilian oversight panel ruled that 2 of the 3 cops who responded to the scene that day violated department policy on the use of deadly force. It will now be up to LAPD Chief Michael Moore to decide exactly what discipline measures he will take with the officers. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
For the past several years now, area woman Caitlin Mooney has been convinced that each and every one of her friends should be a professional comedian. Our reporters spoke to Caitlin this morning about her, quote, hilarious group of friends.
Karen is so funny. Like, I can't even explain it. She's always just saying whatever on her mind. She has this totally sassy attitude. You just can't help but laugh. And my roommate Rashmi, she always has these hilarious stories that, they're just too much. I'm always telling her that she should just go up on stage and talk. Everyone would love it.
Mooney went on to say that her good friend Lauren is so funny she could, quote, definitely be on Saturday Night Live or The Office, a sentiment she echoed about a number of her other acquaintances, including her childhood friend Marcia, her college roommate Angela, her coworker Julie, and even her sister Jennifer.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live. You can bring up whatever you want here and take control of the airwaves. Our number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Joining you in the studio tonight, you've got me, Ian.
Steven.
And Derek J.
And, of course, you can bring up whatever you want. We were, in the last hour, kind of just scratched the surface of an interesting piece by the Associated Press reporting on what it's like to be a criminal, not the government criminals, but the other ones, like your typical, single thug in Caracas in Venezuela.
Disorganized crime.
Exactly. And how life is even more difficult for them, the people who have, historically lived off of the efforts of others by stealing them or robbing them or whatever. Apparently this guy's claiming that he's even committed murders and claims that he has lost track of how many. So let's continue with that story. Of course, you can bring up anything that you want here. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. And so again, it's the Associated Press here. They say that they're claiming actually that violent crimes are down. In fact, claiming that homicides have plunged up to 20% over the last 23 years, 20% over the last 3 years, based on tallies from media clippings and sources at local morgues. Officials of President Nicolas Maduro's socialist administration have drawn criticism for not releasing robust crime statistics, but the government on Tuesday gave the AP figures showing a 39% drop in homicides over the same 3-year period, with 10,598 killings in the year 2018.
How many killings?
10,598. That's presumably for the whole year for all of the country.
Wow.
That's a lot.
That sounds like a lot.
It is a lot. And of course, it's the government's number, so who knows what the actual statistics are. Officials also report a fall in kidnappings. The decline has a direct link to the economic tailspin that has helped spark a political battle for control over the once wealthy oil nation. Soaring inflation topped 1 million% last year. And This is one of the reasons why we were talking earlier about how important it is for people in that situation in Venezuela to get a hold of cryptocurrencies, whatever one we're talking about, whether it be Bitcoin BTC or Dash or Bitcoin Cash. Any cryptocurrency is going to do better than the Bolivar, with the exception of maybe like BitConnect or something like that. But most of the the cryptos out there are going to do a lot better than the Bolivar.
I heard they're going again.
It hasn't gone away.
They're doing it again, though.
Yeah.
There's another one.
It's still there.
BitConnect 2 or something.
Well,
it's like the example of a scam coin.
From
like
top to bottom.
Yeah.
Speaking of inflation, most people know that Bitcoin is not at an all-time high right now. It's half the price of its all-time high.
Do people know that?
Most people who are into Bitcoin.
But it's really doing very well.
But in Argentina this week, it did hit an all-time high in terms of pesos.
Really?
Wow.
Right, because the peso has fallen by over half since the previous all-time high of Bitcoin.
That's amazing.
There was another all-time high that I saw about the number of wallets that have, I believe it was less, or was it more than 0.1? I've got the story here. I'll have to pull it up. But
Right, more than 0.1 BTC. The number of wallets that have that much keeps increasing.
Yeah, so that means that presumably that means more people have Bitcoin than ever before.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really say for sure because it's just wallets. One person could have 10 or 20 or whatever wallets, but it's a good measurement generally over time of adoption.
Yeah, it seems to be an indicator.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah. So that's another all-time high for Bitcoin that just happened, I think, a few days ago. That's pretty exciting. But it's super important for the folks in Venezuela to do everything they can to get rid of the bolivar, which the typical way that people do that in countries where there's hyperinflation, whether we're talking about Zimbabwe or whatever in the Germany in the past, the typical way that people get rid of their money is to spend it. Like as soon as they get the paycheck, they go to the store and they spend it on everything they can possibly buy because the longer they wait, the less of the value that the money will lose value.
In Argentina, I talked to a number of business owners, and they all take all the pesos they get every day and buy dollars.
Yeah,
sure.
They deposit
on the black
it
market, right?
In
Or can
the
they
bank.
do it in the bank?
Yeah, they put it into the bank account, and it goes to dollars.
Interesting. Well, that's good that in Argentina you can still do that. You can't do that in Venezuela. The banks don't work both ways. You can only take dollars and get bolivar from the bank. You cannot go in with bolivar and
The
get
bank's
dollars.
like, well, you got to bring us something of value. Like, we're not going to just give you dollars for nothing.
Right. So it might even be a crime in Venezuela. So going on here with more from the story, inflation topping 1,000,000% last year, making the local bolivar nearly useless, even though ATM machines have been unable to dispense more than $1 worth of scrip anyway. The severe scarcity of food and medicine has driven some 3 million Venezuelans to seek better prospects in places like Colombia, Panama, and Peru. Yeah, if you're not crippled, if you can get out of Venezuela and you can get the rest of your family out, you ought to. The reason why a lot of people stay is because of family, right? Like they're like, well, I could leave and I'm able-bodied, but my grandfather is, he's in a wheelchair. How are we supposed to get him out? It's not going to be as easy, or whatever. Some people just want to stay where they were born. They feel like they're obligated to stick it out.
Maybe they feel like it'll blow over. Like,
Could they really?
We've been through this sort of thing before. History repeats.
Have they?
We'll get back to our former glory. Or at least not so bad as it is today.
There was an article recently that said that Venezuela is worse than, I think it was, I forget how many years, but in like a matter of decades, like since the 70s, the worst economic destruction with the exception of war, basically. With the exception of countries that have been like bombed out husks, Venezuela is the worst.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't know if they have been through this before. This may be probably the first time, even for the octogenarians living in Venezuela, the first time that anybody's been that poor. Going on here, let's see. The majority of them are young males from whom gangs recruit, and workdays are frequently curtailed due to nationwide strikes. But as the country descends into a state of lawlessness, many Venezuelans who turn to crime find themselves subject to the same chaos that has led to a broader political and social meltdown. Critics blame 20 years of the socialist revolution launched by President Hugo Chavez, who expropriated once thriving businesses that today produce a fraction of their potential under government management. And we've talked about this before as well, where they've literally nationalized hundreds of businesses over the years in Venezuela and run them straight into the ground. Because a bureaucrat cannot run a business. Bureaucrats do not have the ability to be subject to market signals like a business owner.
Yeah, they might have the ability. They don't have the incentive.
The incentives.
Yeah.
Well, there's also bureaucrats within large corporations.
Absolutely.
And corporate theory does show that it's best when, within a large corporation, they don't even know what the different pricing and signals are within the company, so they have to use other companies
to tell them,
to even find out what the price of stuff is. So they can't even produce the whole stack of what they need for their product. Even if they could, they would just be way off. Like, they need the market signal of prices.
Yeah, and at least corporations can get those signals, whereas governments are almost completely insulated from them. It doesn't matter to the government what the prices of things
Well,
are.
did you know that
They'll just steal money.
in the Soviet Union, they had no idea what prices were supposed to be, right? So they would literally get like the Sears catalog. Yeah, and they would look at the prices.
Even though that was the American prices for those items, and it wouldn't necessarily correlate with whatever their economy could support.
Certainly, the
Right.
price of those things in their economy must have been way higher.
Right.
Yeah.
So nobody could buy it anyway at whatever price the bureaucrats were arbitrarily setting. So it's just an absolute mess. And earlier this year, opposition leader Juan Guaido launched a bold campaign with support of the U.S. government and 50 other nations to oust Maduro, who was the Chavez's successor. He was Chavez's right-hand man while Chavez was in, and now he's the president. However, Guaido has yet to make good on his promises to restore democracy, spark a robust economy, and make the streets safer. Well, he's not the president. He says he's the president. The U.S. government and other governments, government gangs are recognizing him as the president, but he's not sitting in the office.
They are recognizing him?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You hadn't heard about that?
No.
Yeah. So when Guaido claimed that he had won the election.
So Trump is talking to Guaido now?
Yeah. The U.S.
And is it
government.
pronounced Guaido?
I've heard
Are
it
we
pronounced
sure of that? Okay.
Could be Guaido.
Guido?
It's Guaido with an accent over it.
Guaido.
Anyway, more coming up here. You did spend some time in South America. 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. So what was his name? This thug that they interviewed here, El
Negrito?
Negrito, yeah. We'll find out more about him coming up, too. 855-450-FREE. You can join us here on Free Talk Live.
She's such a beautiful little puppy. I mean, we walk around the block and neighbors always say, her hair is so beautiful.
Healthy and shiny and glossy. DINOVITE.com.
Fatty acids, omega-3s, and omega-6s are great for healthy skin and soft, shiny coats.
I would really recommend people starting their puppies on Dinovite before they get into what I would call the misery index. Bad skin, bad ears, bad breath.
Because if they're getting all their vitamins, micronutrients, microbials from the beginning, then you're not going to run into the problems associated with the allergies,
Grass, pollen, dust, dirt, fleas, ticks, you name it,
and the itching and shedding down the road.
Our vitamins and enzymes replace the nutrients cooked out of most commercial dog foods.
Dinovite for life.
This is Ed Lukasevic.
And Cindy Lukasevic.
Inviting you and your pets to Dinovite.
859-428-1000. DINOVITE.com.
I believe the crypto winter is over. That, if true, means that crypto prices may be on the rise and more news will be on the horizon. Get the latest and freshest crypto news at news.bitcoin.com. They have a real staff that does real reporting, not the rehashed stuff you're getting from most crypto news outlets. I am proud and happy to say that news.bitcoin.com is my first stop for all news crypto related. News.bitcoin.com. Don't forget that you can get a free Bitcoin Cash wallet and free Bitcoin Cash at free.bitcoin.com. Free crypto at free.bitcoin.com.
I want to tell you about my favorite cryptocurrency wallet, Edge Wallet, at edge.app. Edge is the wallet I use more than any other, and that was true long before Edge Wallet became a sponsor of Free Talk Live. Edge Wallet allows you to buy, sell, trade, and securely hold your cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, tokens, Monero, Ripple, Dash, Bitcoin Cash, and more. It's available for both Android and iOS, and you can download it via the Play or App Store or via Edge Wallet's website, edge.app. Secure your freedom with Edge Wallet.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market. Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up in any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
Now you can follow LRN.FM on the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm.
It is Free Talk Live. You can dial in toll-free and bring up whatever you want. Our number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. And is oral care important to you? Well, it should be. I mean, nobody wants to kiss a nasty old mouth. Do you want to have a whiter, cleaner smile and fresh breath? Well, My Magic Mud is a black tooth powder made of charcoalized coconut shells and bentonite clay.
Wow, that stuff works.
Yeah, you've used it?
Yeah, it's crazy, and it makes your teeth whiter. It definitely cleans your mouth.
Right, the next line in this is, sounds crazy, right? Like, it seems counterintuitive that you could put black stuff in your mouth.
Your whole mouth is going to be so black.
Yeah, for a moment.
And then you wash it out, and it's white.
After a few days, it definitely, according to Mark, who's like a coffee drinker, he said he saw a significant difference after a few days. And, by the way, we used to advertise My Magic Mud way back when they were first getting started, and so all of our crew has experience. I've got their toothpaste actually up in the bathroom right now.
I've got some My Magic Mud at home.
Yeah, I was buying My Magic Mud in the time when they weren't an advertiser, because it's a great product, and it's very, very good. You can use it every day for 4 days, then every 3 or 4 days afterward, and you'll see the effects. Clinically proven, in fact, to whiten teeth, and it cleans better than regular toothpaste as well. You can get My Magic Mud at most local health food stores like Sprouts, Natural Grocers, CVS, and even Walmart's Natural Beauty aisle. But here on Free Talk Live, we can get you 20% off with code FTL20, and that helps us because then they know that we sent you to them. Go to mymagicmud.com, use code FTL, like Free Talk Live 20, so like 20%, FTL20 to get 20% off mymagicmud.com. And if you order enough, there's like a certain minimum order. You can also get free shipping, which is pretty awesome. So
nice.
Check it out. And
it doesn't really go bad, so you should order a lot.
It stores for a long time, too. And it takes a long time to get through one of those containers as well. Yeah. So really good product, and nice folks and liberty-loving folks who made it. Like I said, we interviewed Jessica, who is one of the founders of the company, recently on the show, and I was like, we can say we knew you when, like all the way back at PorkFest when they were.
I remember there being a booth at PorkFest where people were brushing their teeth. And I was like, what's going on? And everyone had black teeth and black stuff in their mouth.
What kind of cult have you stumbled into?
What is this?
Welcome to the Free State Project.
Right. MyMagicMud.com, code FTL20. All right, so we've been talking about the violence and the terrible living conditions down there in Venezuela, thanks to the government. Thanks to their economic policies of just turning on the money printing presses and going to town, and then hyperinflating the currency.
How much should we really blame just the government and not at all the people who voted for that
Basically
government?
zero.
I wonder...
Wait, are you saying don't blame the people or blame...
Do blame the people, yeah. Blame the people.
Yeah, because, I mean, how much of a fight did they put up against Maduro and all the promises that he made for all the free stuff?
Yeah, but who was he running against? There's probably somebody else who sucked.
I don't know.
What about when they confiscated the guns?
Yeah, that was bad.
I don't know about the history.
About
I'm just saying, like, maybe these people went along with really bad ideas for a long time.
Well, they say you get the government you deserve. Or that the people get the government that they deserve.
I don't know that that's true in all cases, but I'm wondering if it's true in this case.
Well, I mean, at what point? People, like you're saying...
I never heard about any resistance to this government.
people have to have a point at which that they're going to stop going along to get along, right? Like to where they will be willing to resist. And at what point would that be here in the United States? People have been pretty, brainwashed here.
I know. There used to be, I don't know. It seems like the U.S. or the Americas has this tradition of like knowledge and philosophy about the dangers of a welfare system and the virtues of independence, where we look down on a Sarah who might do better for herself and for the world if she were more independent and not dependent on handouts. And if you're part of a culture, a whole country of people who are like, yeah, we want more of that.
More handouts.
More Sarahs. We all want to be Sarahs.
That's bad. That's not going to lead to good things.
Yeah, give that 10, 20 years, 30 years, and it's, the worst place on earth.
Right, they can't even take the natural resource of oil and make money on that these days.
Yeah,
that's how bad it is there.
Yeah.
So let's continue. A little bit more here from the Associated Press, and they're going to tell us about what life is like. There's kind of been summarizing some of the political ramifications of what's been going on there. You've got two different socialists who are fighting over the country. I think that's another
my point.
important thing.
Are these people still unaware? I don't want to be mean, but are they unaware of the consequences of their philosophy?
Everyone else left. That's the thing. Like
all the people who
there's
understood.
fight or flight, and flight is easy. Like we all moved here.
Yep.
I didn't need to fight the state of California.
Right.
It's easy. Venezuelans, they go to
Colombia.
Buenos Aires, Colombia, all over South America.
Anywhere else is better than where they were.
So that's the deal.
So what you're saying is the ones who were smart enough got out.
Thank goodness for open borders.
If you're running a business in Venezuela and you see other businesses being nationalized, do you want to keep going? Because you could be next, right?
I'm amazed. One of the people who uses AnyPay in Venezuela is like a cupcake shop. And it's like, that's cute, that's great. I'm glad there are people to buy cupcakes.
Open.
Yeah, but why would you open a business there? Like, why wouldn't you just open a business
to try to
where
help
it's
your
better?
people? Like to some extent, there's probably you know how people are about where they live, right? Like the place where they were born. They kind of hold on to a certain love for that place. It may not apply to us because we've moved from the places we were born, but for a lot of people, it's like, that's my town. That's my team. Those are my people, even though it doesn't really mean, in the scheme of things, it probably doesn't mean anything. But to them, it does, you know, and they have a real connection with the people that they grew up with there. And like, if people are hungry around you and you have the ability to cook and you don't want to leave, then you probably want to try to like feed those people, would be my guess.
Yeah.
And plus, like, your family and friends are not on the same page. Like, they don't all understand that it's easier for you all to just leave.
Right.
So,
you want to leave, but they don't. What do you do?
Yeah. What do? You love them. You're attached to them. Maybe you're reliant on them in emotional or economic ways.
Or maybe they're relying on you. You're the breadwinner.
That's right. And what obligation do you have to the people who created you?
You don't have an obligation, but a lot of people feel like you do.
Yeah.
As a result of the chaos, says the AP, crime has not so much disappeared as simply morphed in form. While assaults are down, reports of theft and pilfering of everything from copper telephone wires to livestock are surging. Meanwhile, drug trafficking and illegal gold mining illegal gold mining? Okay, have become default activities for organized crime.
That doesn't sound like a crime.
Gathering.
Right. Well, this is what happens in a country where the government has total economic controls.
I'd be willing to bet that gold mining is illegal in the United States too.
I don't know. It would be interesting to find that out. When night falls, streets in Caracas clear as most residents abide by an undeclared curfew out of fear for their safety. Despite the significant drop in killings, Venezuelans tend not to gaze at their cell phones in the streets. Many got to be aware, right? Your situational awareness. Here in New Hampshire, you walk around with your cell phone, you're probably not going to get robbed.
You're going to hit someone, though.
That could happen. In Mexico, my concern was falling through a hole in the streets. There literally were holes in the Acapulco streets. If you weren't paying attention, you're going in one of them and break a leg.
Wow.
Or at the very least, hurt yourself in some way. We'll talk more about what is life like for criminals in Venezuela coming up here at 855 450 free, or at least how the AP wants you to think. 855-450-3733. And you can take control of the airwaves here on Free Talk Live. Coming up, Derek J wants to take us to talk radio hell with abortion. It's on the way.
Looking for that edge during those intimate moments? We see many ads for enhancement, but the side effects include death. At GCN Team, we should change the Healthy Body, Brain, and Heart Pack to the Healthy Libido Pack. The brain and heart are not the only organs that require a healthy vascular system. For proper blood flow at the right moment, go to GCNteam.com or call 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com, or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
Do you know the difference between erudite and pedantic? If you do, you're probably pedantic. But seriously, a surprising number of erudite people mispronounce erudite, which has 3 syllables, not 4. Say erudite, not erudite. Because you are judged by how you speak, you want to avoid common misstatements, especially if you're a job seeker. For instance, do you know the difference between imply and infer? Only a speaker can imply. Only a listener can infer. And when you say you'll be out of pocket, do you mean out of touch? Out of pocket means you're on your own dime, not yet reimbursed. And if anyone ever asks, why do you always answer a question with a question? You should reply, do I do that? Just kidding. From survivalspeech.com, I'm Holland Cook.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live.
It's written in legalese. If you don't have training in reading that crap, it might as well be a foreign language. And as you pointed out, it doesn't matter if you can read it.
I thought I had them dead to rights. And these bureaucrats, they just like, no, we do whatever we want here at the zoning board.
Yeah, that's right.
And you'll kiss our butts.
Peon, serf,
you'll
slave.
You'll do what we say.
Yeah. Why label them citizens?
Oh,
why not just call it what it is? You're a serf. You're a slave. We're the freest slaves in the world. If you don't like this slavery, you should go to some other country and be a slave. At least we got cell phones and TV and beer.
Do have beer.
Our masters let us live a pretty nice life. They let us keep 40% of what we earn.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM. This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
It's Free Talk Live. You may dial toll-free and join us here if you want. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Also, we do have the Discord on-air call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm if you want to join us there. And by the way, the Discord server is where you can interact regularly. I mean, there's people in there pretty much all hours of the day and the night. And you can interact with other Free Talk Live listeners. Some of them you have heard as callers to the show. Others never call, but that's fine. Most people that listen never will call, and that's okay. But you can interact with them for free. It's a free chat server. There's different rooms. There's one for cryptocurrency discussion, one for gaming. There's several different rooms there. And then there's, of course, the ones that allow you to call in during our live show. But it's free, so you can download the Discord app, load that up on your smart device or your laptop or computer, whatever it is you want. There's apps for pretty much every operating system out there, and it's free. Go to discord.lrn.fm. And Bitcoin.com is your premier source for everything Bitcoin Cash related. Bitcoin.com can help you choose a Bitcoin Cash wallet, buy Bitcoin Cash, and show you where you can spend your Bitcoin Cash. You can also read the latest news on their news site and engage with the community on their forums. And you can learn more over at Bitcoin.com. And one of the other things you mentioned earlier, Stephen, talking about how people in Venezuela need to be able to get in and out of Bitcoin. So they're using Bitcoin for remittances, but some people are using, say, local Bitcoins as a website to, for instance, sell their Bitcoin and get Bolivar so that they can then buy things locally at places that don't yet accept cryptocurrency. Well, coming up in about a week from today, the folks over at Bitcoin.com are going to be launching a competitor to local Bitcoins. They're going to call it local.bitcoin.com, and that is where you will be able to buy and sell Bitcoin Cash with, let's say, dollars or Bolivar or whatever. It's going to be a global site, so people in Venezuela will be able to use this site, and they'll be able to avoid all the terrible fees that they have to currently pay with Bitcoin BTC, and there's no Know Your Customer requirements to sign up for an account at local.bitcoin.com. In fact, you can go there right now and sign up for the account, even though they haven't officially launched the site. They haven't opened up the site's full features yet, but this account registration is there. You can even post a selling advertisement. So if you have Bitcoin Cash you want to sell, you can post that ad, but again, nobody can respond to the ad yet until June 4th, so about a week from today. So check it out over at local.bitcoin.com. And from what I understand, they're also going to encrypt the communications between buyers and sellers.
Beautiful.
So the site itself will not be able to know what is being talked about unless you need the site to arbitrate a dispute. And they're going to allow later on, I think, for other people to be arbitrators. So there can be a professional arbitrators on the site.
This is wonderful.
It's really interesting what they've got planned there.
Bitcoin.com is growing at such a fast pace and producing all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah, I was at their offices a few weeks ago in Tokyo. I'd never been there before, and man, some of the stuff they were telling me about that they've got working is really exciting. Some of it I can't talk about on the air, but local.bitcoin.com I can. So I'm excited about it.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm planning on trying it out. I've already got an account registered there.
Me too.
So I'm
excited.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah, it seems already leagues better than localbitcoins.com, which I've used and loved for years.
Oh, Local Bitcoins I think is always going to have a warm spot in my heart for sure. But they got cracked down on by the government recently. They had to, according to the Finnish government, I think it was, because I think they're based in Finland, they had to implement mandatory Know Your Customer requirements on all sellers.
Well, good thing that Bitcoin.com is based in St. Bits.
That's right, wherever that is. Well, again, they're also saying, "Hey, look, we're not even holding the funds." So they're not. They're not. That's another important part. Is they got, I think, what they're calling blind escrow.
Right.
Where they're not involved in anything except running a website, basically.
And Bitcoin is such a great technology to enable more freedom. And
well, in this case, I think it's Bitcoin Cash. Apparently, now has a way to do escrow or coding or something, so it's going to be like a smart contract basically.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Because of the new signature type that you were saying was no good.
I don't like
the Schnorr signatures.
Yeah, I guess I'm torn on that.
Yeah, that's beyond my
once
my
it
level
does something cool for me, then I'm happy. But
okay.
this
well,
whole
blind
Schnorr
escrow
thing,
sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it does sound cool, but in the meantime, it broke my app, and I'm not happy about all these changes.
Well, that's what happens.
Making
changes can break things.
Stop
it. Change for the sake of change, is that good? Well, that's arguable. So we've been talking about Venezuela and the criminal class there. Not the government criminals, but the other criminals. The ones that are more likely to, put a gun or a knife in your back and just rob you straight out in the streets. As a result of the chaos, they say here that, or when night falls, most in Caracas abide by an undeclared curfew out of fear for their safety. Despite the significant drop in killings, Venezuelans aren't looking at their cell phones in the streets. Many leave gold and silver wedding rings in secure places at home, while others have grown accustomed to checking whether they're being followed. Quote, Venezuela remains one of the most violent countries in the world. This according to Dorothy Kronik, who teaches political science at the University of Pennsylvania and has carried out extensive research in Caracas's slums. She says, it has wartime levels of violence, but no war. El Negrito, this is the 24-year-old hoodlum, the criminal that they interviewed for the story, leads 4 hired gangsters called the Crazy Boys, a band that forms part of an intricate criminal network in Petare, one of Latin America's largest and most feared slums. The gangster, who agreed to an interview with 2 associates at their hillside hideout in Caracas, said his group now carries out roughly 5 kidnappings a year. Down.
Whoa.
That's down from the past, he says, considerably. Because, I mean, how are they going to pay the ransom? I mean, you can't kidnap people if they can't pay the ransom, right? Says here that such express abductions are big business.
How many kidnappings do you think there are around here?
That's a good question.
I mean, how does that compare to
I haven't
the
heard
rest
of one.
the world?
Well, New Hampshire was ranked number 50 out of 50 states for the most violent crime.
Okay, so not violent at all.
Not violent at all, but
It's-
more violent than 2 Canadian states.
I think it is New Hampshire, as far as murder is concerned per capita, just behind Vermont as the number 2 least murderous state. So it is not murderous at all here. Vermont, like the difference between the two is very, very fractional.
I don't know about you guys, but kidnapping sounds scarier than murder to me. I don't, I'd rather just be dead real quick than
You may not be
someone
dead real
trapping
quick
me.
by a murder. I mean, it could be like a slaughtering where you're slowly murdered. That would be
But
pretty
you might get
horrible.
away with the kidnapping.
Oh, yeah, I might get away from the kidnapper.
Yeah. Or like, I hear stories
That's
all the
true, that
time of
happens.
girls who
A
were
couple
kidnapped for
ladies,
like
yeah.
5 years or something, and then they get out.
Yeah.
I knew a guy who wanted to be kidnapped. It was
What?
like a
Oh, that's
fetish.
kinky.
Yeah, it was a fetish. He wanted somebody to like pull up in a van.
That's so
with,
interesting.
black masks and kidnap him. You
Wow.
probably know him.
That's a
He runs a
fascinating
Bitcoin
fetish.
vending machine in Manchester.
Yeah, I immediately had a guess as to who that
Wow,
was.
well, that's kind of fun.
So going on here about the Crazy Boys. Typically, a victim is nabbed and held hostage for up to 48 hours, while loved ones scramble to gather as much cash as they can find, while kidnappers focus on speed and a quick return rather than on the size of the payout. El Negrito said the ransom they set depends on what a victim's car costs, and the deal can turn deadly if demands aren't met. But like many of his associates, he has considered leaving the trade in Venezuela and emigrating. Neighbors say the life expectancy for his street thugs is about 25 years.
I hope he immigrates somewhere where people have guns
and can stop him from doing these things. He's got a gun because, criminals are willing to
where
break the
good guys
law.
have guns.
Right, yeah. He said people have quit the world of crime and sought more honest work abroad, fearing stiff penalties in other countries where laws are more enforced. That's interesting. So suggesting that the police aren't anywhere to be found, that if you get kidnapped in Venezuela, you better pay the ransom or go and find the kidnappers yourself and do something about it because the police aren't going to help you.
Wow.
They're too busy trying to find food, would be my guess. While explaining
They're probably
that
fed enough. They
Yeah.
work for the government.
Probably true.
They can get all the...
There was a story about the soldiers like killing goats or whatever because they didn't have enough food at one
Wow.
point. This was a couple of years ago now. I mean, again, you presume the government's taking care of its own, soldiers as much as they can. While explaining the struggles to support his wife and young daughter, El Negrito passed a silver pistol between his hands. A Bible lay open to Proverbs on a dresser as a breeze turned the pages.
See what I'm saying about this being made up? They made that part up. They made some amount of this up.
Toll-free number here, 855-450-FREE. You can bring up whatever you want here. On the way, abortion and the last abortion clinic in one state. Derek will tell us. Coming up.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynavite for help. Order a 90-day supply of Dynavite. Pick up 2 bottles of Lico Chops, get the 3rd bottle free. New improved Lico Chops with omega-6, omega-3, vitamin E, and now 6 extra direct-fed microbials. Even better for the digestive tract and immune system. And dogs love it. Try Lico Chops. Buy 2, get 1 free. This is Henry Lukasevic for Dynavite.
DINOVITE.com.
Is oral health important to you? If you don't like your own teeth, fresh breath, or kissing people, then by all means stop listening. Several years ago, I met Jessica Armand, founder and CEO of My Magic Mud, and I became passionate about the product that she created and never want to live without it. It's clinically proven to whiten teeth, but I find it does much more. They want you to love My Magic Mud as much as I do, so they're giving you a money-back guarantee plus 20% off. Go to mymagicmud.com and use coupon code FTL20 at checkout. mymagicmud.com, FTL20.
Complement your health with hemp-derived cannabinoid oil. We've always believed that the closer to Earth, the better it is for our bodies. Our hemp-derived cannabinoid oil is phytocannabinoid rich, full spectrum, and organically grown. Finally, hemp made easy, clean, and effective. GCNhemp.com or call 877-878-4203. That's right, we cut through the red tape. It's now available at GCNhemp.com or call 877-878-4203.
The United States of Empire is a book that claims the United States is the empire of the world. George Washington had warned us against foreign wars. The United States of Empire shows that World Wars I and II left England broken. Its former colony, the U.S., had to save the empire. Was there ever a vote? Who do we fight for? The deep state began with World War I. The United States of Empire by James Dunn. Available at Amazon Books.
Would you like to hang out with Penn Jillette? He's keynoting Freedom Fest this year. I, for one, am thrilled. Freedom Fest is the largest liberty-oriented gathering in the world. They take a Big Ten approach with libertarians, conservatives, liberals, anarchists, and just open-minded people mingling together to hear real debates, share real solutions, and converse freely. This year's theme is the Wild West, a time of liberty and opportunity, or a time of anarchy and violence. Maybe both. Go to freedomfest.com/FTL and get your tickets now. freedomfest.com/FTL. Not convinced yet? Hey, I understand. It's a high-end event, even with coupon code FTLEB. Sure, you're likely to receive investment advice that'll make that sum seem paltry, but I have something special for you. Go to freedomfest.com/FTL and you'll get the 5 best speeches from last year for free. Call it a test drive. Do yourself a favor and go to freedomfest.com/FTL. freedomfest.com/FTL. Use coupon code FTLEB for a discount.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
Did you know you can legally exit the U.S. federal income tax system? Well, it's true, and thousands of American nationals are doing it. The 16th Amendment and the Internal Revenue Code are legal, but only in a limited jurisdiction. This is the basis behind the voluntary nature of the income tax. Learn the exit strategy provided by Congress. Find out more by visiting weissparis.com and watch our numerous videos. That's WEISSparis.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
Hey, it's Free Talk Live. You can bring up whatever's on your mind. The toll-free number here, 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We've got the Discord on-air call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm. Jump into one of those. You'll sound almost like you're sitting here in the studio with us. We're talking about a story from the Associated Press talking about how the difficulties in Venezuela are even affecting the criminals, because if people are generally poorer, then the criminals cannot steal as much from their victims, as we've found out with their interview of El Negrito and his gangsters from the Crazy Boys, a band of what they call an intricate criminal network in one of Latin America's largest and most feared slums. But even El Negrito himself is talking about leaving the country and maybe taking on honest work, because it's just not working out with all the kidnappings these days. It's getting harder and harder to find people who are able to pay a ransom. And then, of course, even if you get the ransom money, it starts losing value the moment it gets paid to you. So if you want to share your thoughts with us, you're welcome to join us here. Also, I do want to say thank you to Liberate Ops, OPES. We need to have people tell us how to pronounce their names too, because I don't know if I butchered that. But he or she is a Free Talk Live Silver Amplifier.
OPUS at the end?
OPES. Oops. Opus. I think it's Opes. Liberate Opes. Anyway, thank you for being a Free Talk Live Silver Amplifier, which means he or she is giving $5 per month via either PayPal or credit card or even Bitcoin BTC to the Free Talk Live AMP program, which helps us get on more radio stations. As you know, we finally crossed the 200 radio station threshold recently.
Woohoo!
So, yeah, which is pretty great.
That is cool.
And it's thanks to listeners like Liberate Opes for backing us up with the AMP program. That's what AMP stands for. Advertise, market, promote. It's money that we can help market Free Talk Live with. In fact, we're going to be using some of that money to go to New York City coming up here in about a week.
What are you going there for?
New York City.
The Talkers. The Talkers Convention.
Oh, man.
That's
what part
right.
of the town?
Manhattan.
Yeah, well, yeah. Okay.
It's at a place called the Helen Mills Theater, I think.
Helen Mills
So probably
Theater.
the theater district.
Hey, you got to go to La Sirène.
What is that?
Fine French restaurant. Uses AnyPay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they
Okay.
love it.
Is it on the map?
It's on the map.
I will be looking at the AnyPay map, and I will see if it is anywhere near the hotel.
There are two.
If it's
Yeah, there are
two
two
restaurants
locations.
that take.
Yeah, Soho and Upper West Side.
Ooh, okay, that increases the odds then that we could go. That's pretty cool because it's so hard to find cryptocurrency accepting restaurants in places with like the coin map. It's so out of date.
Impossible.
They're
Well,
they're
that's why
either
you need the
closed-
Prove It map.
You're gonna
Right.
you're gonna be set for disappointment if you look on any other map.
My
because
God.
you go there and they don't take it.
I went to Austin a year ago, your hometown, Stephen. This tech hub, the cool, hip, Austin's so cool. And I looked at the coin map, and I'm like, all right, I got some time to kill in Austin. I want to go to this cool, hip town's got to have a place where I can spend cryptocurrency. It's got to be at least one place where I can go.
Nope.
And I went through the entire list of the purported restaurants on the coin map, coinmap.org, which is a cool map and everything. I went through every single one of them, tried calling, tried, finding websites, tried finding anything. And they were either didn't exist anymore or didn't even know anything about taking cryptocurrency. There were a bunch of like Asian restaurants on there, but what actually it was an intermediary. So there was a company that would do like the delivery for you, and you could pay the delivery company in cryptocurrency to go and pick up from these places. So if you called the Japanese restaurant or whatever, they didn't know anything about cryptocurrency. They didn't know you could pay cryptocurrency for their product. I didn't try doing that because to me that's not the real deal. Like, it's cool. I'm glad that thing exists, but I want to be able to go into a place, sit down, and pay with cryptocurrency when I'm done. Austin didn't have anything like that.
Well,
They
Austin
purportedly-
has one business that uses AnyPay. It's
Do
Liberty
they?
Stickers.
That's true. Liberty
Okay,
stickers.
Cool. Which is where we get our bumper stickers.
Oh, you know
here.
what? And we should get Michael Cargill to use AnyPay.
The
'Cause
gun
he
store
does-
guy.
Yeah, he will take Bitcoin, but
Okay.
if he wants to be on the map, and
That map is the coolest map. So let's talk a little more about that. It's anypaymap.com.
Yeah, I call it the Prove It map. So it's proveitmap.com. But if it's easier for people to just remember, it's the AnyPay merchants, anypaymap.com. So, a couple of different URLs that all go to the same place. But basically, it's a map. And what's the problem is, all these other maps, as we've been talking about, they just
Out of
lie
date.
to you. Because you get your hopes up like, oh, wow, Boston, gosh, there are over
30
100
places.
businesses that take Bitcoin.
It's not even that many.
Zero. Try zero businesses in Boston. Because there are Bitcoin Cash meetups there. There's Dash meetups. They don't even try anymore.
it is zero.
It's
Yeah.
actually zero. And
so sad.
But
it's
Cape Cod has a
pathetic.
boat rental place now.
Now there's a boat rental place in Cape Cod. So we got one in Massachusetts,
Right.
one Bitcoin accepting
Wow.
business. And no, all these other maps, you'll see, oh, well, there must be millions of places in the world accepting Bitcoin. No,
Yeah.
the reality is it's only a handful,
Oh.
and we give you the reality. We'll tell you
Right.
what places.
There's no BS on the AnyPay map.
Because we've got some in Portsmouth that it's embarrassing that our hometown,
Right.
they've gone gray.
And what does
which
that
means
mean?
They haven't taken Bitcoin in over 3 months. And so if you go into a business that's gray,
I feel bad at the yellow. I'm like, oh my God, we need to save these people because yellow's what, like a month to 3 months?
Over a week.
Oh, it's a week. Okay,
over a week they start to get yellow.
What's red?
Over a month.
Okay, that's yeah.
And you're really in danger there.
Yep.
If you haven't had a customer to pay you in Bitcoin in over a month,
that's when the cashiers are going to start forgetting how to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, the Felix from Thailand, he's a huge power user. He's like you or us, and he set up many businesses. And he was complaining like, oh, the map keeps turning yellow and red. Like, it looks bad.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, well, there aren't that many people going there, and they're going to forget about it.
Well, and there's also the problem of the cryptocurrency holders who will not spend it. They do not see they don't understand the value of spending cryptocurrency, and they just hold on to it. So you may even have people in the area in Thailand or whatever who are cryptocurrency holders, but they're not going out and spending it, and that doesn't.
Well, they're worthless. I'm sorry. I don't care about. If you're not going to use the stuff, then you might be a great guy, but I'm not interested. We don't connect on that level.
Yeah.
It's boring.
I don't want to insult the person. I want to persuade them. I want to explain to them that if, like we said earlier, if the guy hadn't bought the pizzas, Laszlo. If he hadn't bought the 2 pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoins back in the past. Now, somebody probably would have bought something eventually, but the fact that people spend cryptocurrency is what makes it worth something. The fact that it's useful and usable and is being used is why it's useful.
Well, frankly, I don't think it's going to work out that people using Bitcoin is what makes it the most useful. I think it's going to be machines using Bitcoin to get what they want that will be the most transactions.
Like Internet of Things?
Yeah, like different applications, different data.
What was that one you were telling me about? It has like the most transactions.
Like Weather SV. Okay,
right.
So this is a really cool app that's built into the Bitcoin, and it uses public weather data from in different places over the world.
This is like weather.com.
Yeah, it uses live weather data from sensors, I think weather.com, and then every hour it puts the data into the Bitcoin database.
Why?
So that there's a permanent record that is unalterable of what the weather was. Because any company that publishes a website with data, they could change
Where'd
the
you get
data.
that information?
They could change the data over time. They could go back, send it down the memory hole. A hacker could come and change the data.
Yeah.
But not if it's in a permanent database that has a timestamp every 10 minutes. That's basically almost impossible to override the timestamp.
That's interesting.
Right. So that's just one example of an app. And so basically you can pay. I paid to activate Portsmouth, and you could pay to activate Keene. It was like, I don't know, $5 or something to get weather data for a whole year. So I paid the fees to put that information in the database. Now every hour it's putting the weather information about Portsmouth, and people are activating cities all over the world.
How about that?
Now it's like a public infrastructure now for weather.
Yeah, but it still depends on people to use it. The whole argument here is that
persuade
people who sit there and are like, I have Bitcoin, I'm cool. It's like, yeah, that is cool. That's the first step. Then you got to use it. If you don't,
no, I don't.
Then what are we doing?
Right. I don't blame somebody who's like, well, I don't want to use it. It's got a $3 fee. Okay, I got you. Use Dash or Bitcoin Cash or one of the other cryptocurrencies out there where the fees are very, very low. There are alternatives, and of course, with AnyPay, there's the 10% back on both Dash and Bitcoin Cash via Dash back. And
also, you
Bitcoin
can
Cash
dial
back.
your fee down pretty low. I think Roger just had a bet with a big popular guy in Bitcoin, Tone Vase, about.
Yeah, I heard about this.
Oh, you can't send me Bitcoin for 1 cent.
He couldn't.
And he did.
They cheated.
It took 10 years. Oh, really?
Yeah, from what I understand, they had their people mine it into a block.
Okay.
Yeah. But there's more coming up here. 855-450 free. That's 855-450-3733. Check out that AnyPay map. It's pretty slick over at anypaymap.com. I like it. And maybe you've got something in your area that you didn't even know about. It's possible. We're coming up here. Free Talk Live.
If you feel you've been lied to, pressured, or misled into buying your timeshare, you have the right to cancel completely. This is Steve Sanchez, and I'd like to introduce you to Wesley Financial Group, the leading top-rated timeshare cancellation company in the country. That's right, no more excessive fees or lifetime commitments that make you feel like you're serving a prison sentence. Founded by CEO Chuck McDowell, a pioneer in the industry who went into federal court and won against the largest timeshare resort company in the world just to help you get out of your timeshare. Too good to be true? No. Countless best testimonials and the highest ratings from the Better Business Bureau make Wesley Financial Group the real deal, and their money-back guarantee they put in writing makes them the Steve Sanchez choice for successfully canceling your timeshare guarantee. To get their free information kit, call 1-800-475-1919. That's 1-800-475-1919, or visit them at timesharecancellations.com. That's 1-800-475-1919.
My name is Jacob Hornberger. I'm president of the Future of Freedom Foundation, which Congressman Ron Paul awarded for having an outstanding freedom website. Write us at fff@fff.org, and we'll send you a free 3-month subscription to our monthly journal of libertarian essays and our booklet, Economic Liberty in the Constitution, which George Mason University economics professor Walter Williams praised in a recent column. That's fff@fff.org.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media, and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free, at apps.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,280, silver at $14.33, and Bitcoin is trading around $8,685. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high-availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, over the Memorial Day weekend, the Transportation Security Administration made an important update to its website. Activist Post reports hemp-derived CBD products may now be carried onto airplanes, but only under certain circumstances. The update has been needed after the 2018 Farm Bill legalized hemp and its derivatives federally. The lag in an update has likely confused users of both medical marijuana and CBD oil. It has been shown to aid users in treating anxiety, arthritis, pain, depression, and more, and is being used with increasing frequency to relieve pain associated with cancer and cancer treatment. Prior to the update, the TSA did not distinguish between marijuana and hemp-derived cannabis products, stipulating that cannabis products were not allowed in carry-on luggage or in checked baggage. While the website states that some CBD oil remains illegal and that TSA officers are required to report suspected violations, it adds that officers do not search for the substances, but may come across them during security screenings. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven, and believes so strongly in the power of kratom, they're giving it away for free. Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. Atlanta's City Council has voted in favor of transforming over 7 acres of vacant property into the state of Georgia's first food forest. The measure, which paves the way for the largest food forest in the country, according to Councilwoman Carla Smith, was approved last Monday after a unanimous vote. The Anti-Media reports the urban food forest will be available free of charge and will include edible trees, shrubs, and vines, in addition to additional community garden beds, as well as walking trails, public gathering spaces, and other features. The land, which is currently owned by environmental agency, the Conservation Fund, will be sold to the City of Atlanta for more than $157,000. The agency was in possession of the land after it was abandoned due to a failed business venture. Atlanta's Department of Parks and Recreation will oversee the property, And Trees Atlanta will maintain the urban food forest. Trees Atlanta has secured more than $121,000 in funding and plans to employ 2 part-time workers, including a forest ranger and a community workforce educator. Israel, on Monday, fired a surface-to-surface missile against a military site in Syria. The attack killed a single Syrian soldier, wounded 2 others, and damaged a military vehicle. Israeli officials were unusually forthcoming about why they attacked. The anti-media reports they claimed an abnormal Syrian violation of Israeli sovereignty earlier in the day, in which a Syrian anti-aircraft system fired at an Israeli warplane. Israel insists the warplane was in northern Israeli airspace, and Syria has claimed it was aggression against them. The air defense system was reportedly the target of the Israeli missile attack. The indication is the warplane was on the fringe between the Israeli-occupied Golan Heights and the Syrian side. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
It's the Onion Radio News. An area man doesn't know what to do with all the extra ketchup packets. This is Doyle Redland reporting. After finishing his Big Bacon Classic combo, Erie, Pennsylvania resident and Wendy's patron Don Turnby, 38, expressed uncertainty today regarding what to do with all the extra ketchup packets. Turnby had asked for extra ketchup upon placing his order for a ketchup-necessitating Biggie Fries.
Well, I knew it was too many ketchups because I usually only need 3 or 4 for my Biggie Fries, but I just took them anyway.
At his nearby home, the Turnby pantry is crammed with hundreds of other restaurant condiments, including single-serving packets of Taco Bell mild sauce, Arby's horsey sauce, soy sauce, McDonald's Chicken McNuggets hot mustard sauce, pats of shed spread country crock from Ponderosa Steakhouse, and a selection of Smucker's jellies and jams from several area diners. Doyle Redland for the Onion Radio News, online at theonion.com.
Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live. You can dial in toll free. Bring up whatever's on your mind. Our number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. It's 855-450-3733. You can take control of the airwaves here on Free Talk Live. With you in the studio tonight, you've got Ian,
Steven Zeiler,
and Derek J.
Steven and Derek are here courtesy of AnyPay.global and HelpMeTakeBitcoin.com and AnyPayMap.com. And God, how many websites do you guys have now?
They're all the same one.
Okay.
It's all AnyPay. So if people are looking for us, the easiest place is in the App Store.
Oh, right. Because, we haven't even mentioned that you can download for iOS and for Android.
Yeah, who goes to websites anymore? Just go to the App Store.
Yes, I do. I'm old.
Yeah, search AnyPay in the App Store, download it, then you can add your business to the map.
Right from inside the app.
Right inside the app.
Pretty cool.
Maybe we should put the map in the app? I don't know.
Why not? If you can, or at least link to it.
Doesn't seem right, because as a user, I'm not a business. I just want to go use a map.
But people keep installing the app on their personal phone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm going to recommend to a business owner when I meet with her, hopefully within the next few days here, just so she can have it there and administer her app from her phone.
Well, yeah. We're from AnyPay, and you can find us in all kinds of places.
It's awesome. I love it. All right, so Derek J., you wanted to go to Talk Radio Hell tonight.
Why do you call it Talk Radio Hell?
I don't know. I think Mark named it that because it almost always generates some of the worst callers. Bringing up abortion as a topic is one of the most controversial topics, right?
Well,
it's one of the most
it's not controversial.
Topics.
Derek loves abortions.
No, I'm torn about this. I don't. The point of this
and it always
story
ends up being
and why
3
it's
men
interesting,
talking about abortions.
Well,
it's every time we talk about abortions, there's never a woman on the show.
So what?
Anyway,
the thing that's interesting is that this is Missouri's last abortion clinic,
also known as Misery, right?
Yeah, Misery. Is that correct pronunciation?
No, it's a mispronunciation.
Oh, okay, got it.
As in misery, like the state of
Love's
being.
Company. Yeah. It's the last abortion clinic, and it may lose its license this week, and it probably will. Meaning that abortions are effectively illegal in Missouri now.
Oh boy.
They don't have they need a license to operate.
And didn't they also just ban them in Alabama as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Wow. Well, there's not going to be any more abortions then.
Yeah. Well, there probably will be, and when
they're going underground
with prohibition, I think that's why this story is interesting to me, and probably to you guys as well. Is with anything that you prohibit, there will inevitably emerge a black market for that prohibited product.
As long as it's in demand.
Yeah, and black market abortions probably not as good as the over-the-counter abortions.
No.
You know,
no, we're talking about like dangerous implements compared to whatever it is they normally do.
Well, except for rich people. Like surely
they could just go somewhere else.
Yeah, but probably they can have a private doctor that can do it just fine. Like apparently that's how it's always been.
Like,
sure, but the poor lady who got raped or knocked up by her boyfriend accidentally or whatever, who doesn't want the child, she's going to go to a back alley clinic, and they're going to pull out a coat hanger or whatever.
Well,
and it's going to be horrible and dangerous.
That sucks.
Yeah.
In a statement Tuesday, Planned Parenthood said Missouri's health department is, quote...
I mean, do you want El Negrito to give you your your abortion? The guy we were talking about in Venezuela?
No.
No, nobody wants that.
Afterward, he will extort you.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm just getting a bad image. The health department in Missouri is refusing to renew its annual license to provide abortion in the state, to Planned Parenthood.
Wow.
And if the license is not renewed by May 31st, that's in a couple of days, Missouri would become the first state without a functioning abortion clinic since 1973.
Wow.
When Roe v. Wade was decided.
45 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. Planned Parenthood filed a lawsuit requesting a restraining order against the state, hoping to restore the license and avoid service disruption.
What town is it? Does it mention where this place is?
The article may name the town, but I have not seen it
a lot of times,
listed.
like the article starts with like a news.
St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I can see the targeted ads now for abortion tourism flooding into the Facebook pages on Missouri. You know, like
yeah.
Come to Kansas.
Right.
We haven't really seen that. That hasn't been a part of my lifetime. Like, I imagine there were people who are older than us who knew a time when abortion was illegal and women got them and they were dangerous and they died. I've heard stories about coat hangers. There was like a dry cleaner that their coat hangers used to come with the dry cleaners like put their name or their slogan or whatever on the dry paper part of the dry cleaner hanger. It said like "never again" on the coat hanger as a reference not to the Holocaust but to the time when abortion was illegal and people used coat hangers.
Oh my God.
So we've never experienced that in our lifetime, but is it possible that is coming again?
It could be.
For
it's
some
scary.
in Missouri, it seems they're running out of options.
I can totally see a huge religious fundamentalism revival all across America. You know,
you think
this thing happens to civilizations from time to time?
Do you have to be religious
losing our
though?
way.
I mean, no, wait a minute. You don't have to be religious to be against abortion.
No.
Right?
Well, I'm
not saying you're wrong. That could happen with a religious fundamentalist revival. But seems like people are moving away from religion generally in the United States, right? Like aren't young people aren't attending church as often, even the ones that are religious. I had an article about this, but we didn't go into it on the air at all, but it was in my show prep a few months ago. Where the statistics are showing that young people, millennials, for instance, even Gen Z, once they get out of their household, so like if they were in a religious household growing up, as soon as they get out and they go off to college or move out for whatever reason, they just don't go to church anymore. The numbers have dropped off from what I understand. So they may still harbor their own belief systems, but they're not going into the organized religion.
Well, we'll see what happens when this giant like fiat currency debt bubble collapses, like, and how the society changes and how people panic and like.
You think they'll go back to God?
They really might. I mean, it could be a big step back for liberalism.
Could be,
as we know it.
Were you raised in a religious household?
I was raised in a Baptist church.
Really?
Yeah. It was
Southern Baptist. Is it Southern Baptist in Austin?
when I was Austin's a very large city that have all kinds of churches.
Okay.
But
is Southern Baptist a particular branch, or is it just anyone?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think
I thought it was, but I don't know.
Well, the church that I was a part of was a Baptist church until I was maybe 6 or 7, and then it became a non-denominational church.
Oh,
is it one of the ones with the humongous bathtub at the front where they would completely submerge?
I was you mean for the, what is that called? Baptism. Yeah, it was a hot tub. It was just like straight up hot tub. Like they went to the hot tub store, but it was embedded into the stage. It was okay. It was nice.
Huh.
Yeah, it had
Not
jets
so bad.
and stuff.
Yeah, okay.
But
For babies?
Jesus jets.
No, we're not Catholic. So the baby, babies are baptized in the Baptist religion when they're not baptized. You have to wait until you're like 13, 14.
You have to choose it?
You have to choose, yeah.
Oh, interesting.
So they say. I mean, he was basically chosen for me.
Okay.
I didn't really know what was going on.
5 beliefs that set Southern Baptists apart from American Baptists. So apparently there is a difference here.
So it's not just being from the South. Like, you could have a Southern Baptist here in New Hampshire.
I guess. I mean, presumably
I
there's
think
no
they're
Southern
probably
Baptist
called
churches here.
that because of the Southern, like the Baptists from the South have these different distinguishing properties.
So are Baptists generally against abortions? Is that why you brought this up?
Baptists are against like dancing and alcohol and like all indulgence. So they're they're against sex. So you can't have an abortion because you can't have sex
for recreation.
Right. Only married people can have sex, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but not for fun.
Oh, even as a married
you
couple?
can't have fun.
Wow.
That is
I think that's pretty much the stance. I had several friends who were kicked out of a Baptist high school.
You can't have fun. Yeah, fun is not
no
good.
School dance, no dancing, no music.
Definitely no dancing.
Jesus, not like fun, apparently. All right, so we'll get into it here a little bit further on abortion.
Jesus
and
is a serious man.
According to an article I've got here, though, there's an Illinois abortion clinic 10 minutes away from St. Louis.
Raking in the dough now, I bet.
So they'll probably be all right, at least in St. Louis, but the people in the middle of the state, they're going to have to travel.
They're going to have to build a wall.
Bit of a ways. More on the way here. Hey, don't give them any ideas. 855-450 free.
Are you concerned that the values that made America great are no longer taught in schools? Well, I am, so I got my son the Tuttle Twins children's book series.
My name is Jack, and I'm 11, and I just finished the Tuttle Twins series. It taught me about liberty, free market economics, and entrepreneurship.
Give all the young people in your life a chance at reason and clear thought, because they're not going to get it at school. There are 9 books in the series, and each one teaches a set of ideas that children aren't getting elsewhere. Go to TuttleTwins.com and use coupon code FTL to get 40% off. That's TuttleTwins.com. I believe the crypto winter is over. That, if true, means that crypto prices may be on the rise and more news will be on the horizon. Get the latest and freshest crypto news at news.bitcoin.com. They have a real staff that does real reporting, not the rehash stuff you're getting from most crypto news outlets. I am proud and happy to say that news.bitcoin.com is my first stop for all news crypto related. News.bitcoin.com. Don't forget that you can get a free Bitcoin Cash wallet and free Bitcoin Cash at free.bitcoin.com. Free crypto at free.bitcoin.com.
Don't you hate that feeling in the pit of your stomach when the police pull you over? Most people have no idea how to handle it properly, and they promptly get fed into the municipal fee-generating meat grinder. Or maybe you recall that feeling you get when you go to the mailbox and see one or more letters from the IRS. You get a sense of impending doom, don't you? So let me ask you, if you could learn how to use the law to beat the IRS, traffic tickets, almost any courtroom scenario, collectors, credit card debt, and even mortgage debt because of fraud perpetrated against you, would that be worth knowing about? Don't laugh. Investigate. Check out the life-changing benefits of the Lighthouse Law Club at their website, lighthouselaw.club. That's lighthouselaw.club. And while you're at it, visit the Lighthouse Law Club YouTube channel. You might be in for a pleasant surprise.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
There are basically two types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You dial toll-free if you want to join us here. Our number for you is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We have the Discord on-air call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm. Now, if you're trying to reach the crypto market, or perhaps you want to spread mass awareness of your cryptocurrency technology, either way, you ought to have a communications company that specializes in that field. You know, you can't just hire your average PR firm or whatever. Leveraging 35 plus different brands, part of the Investor Brand Network, and more than 5,000 downstream distribution partners, Cryptocurrency Wire combines the power of specialization with mass market reach. With the help of Cryptocurrency Wire, you can start connecting with crypto-friendly journalists and more than 1.6 million followers. Their commitment is to get the most eyes possible on your big news while it's still fresh. Whether domestic or international, they can reach 56 different countries and provide translation services, which is super important. So if your company is an important, relevant newsmaker, you need someone that specializes in the field to get your message heard. CryptocurrencyWire.com. We've even used them here at Free Talk Live. CryptocurrencyWire.com. As we continue with your calls and thoughts, we can talk more about the abortion clinic in Missouri that may have to close its doors. It's the last one in the state, and the state government goons are saying they're not going to renew the license.
Yeah, it looks like that's what's going to happen.
Let's go to Ryan, though. He's in Manchester, New Hampshire, watching us on YouTube. Go ahead, Ryan.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Welcome.
I just want to say Stephen and Derek are probably some of the coolest Free Talk Live guests I've ever heard. Huge fan of AnyPay. They're really nice guys out there in Portsmouth.
I agree.
So I just, yeah, right?
I just wish they didn't live in Portsmouth.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, West Manchester is where it's at.
Nah, Keen.
So
go ahead.
Abortion has been one of the topics that's really pressed my libertarianism to the brink, right? It's such a challenging issue. And I just wanted to get your opinions on what I think is kind of the crux of the argument, right? Which is, when does a fetus become a baby? I kind of think of what Ron Paul said when he became pro-life. You know, as a physician, he saw a 7-month abortion, and as the aborted fetus was being taken out, it was actually crying, and they just kind of put it into a bucket until it stopped crying. And there's a huge chance that could have been a viable baby, but because the mother decided to abort it, right? Is that a murder? It's tough to say, right?
And if it is, then what?
Well, then I suppose that baby would have had its rights violated, right? Its right to life, right to property.
And who exactly is standing up for those that person's rights?
Well, I guess that's the question, right?
Well, if nobody cares about you, do you even have any rights?
Yes, I would say so. Definitely.
Well,
yeah,
how? How's that possible?
Well, I suppose that's a good question. I guess I would just view property rights as intrinsic to being human, not necessarily something that's based on age or consciousness, right? Because we wouldn't consider someone who's in a vegetative state, like someone who got into a car accident, to no longer have rights.
Well, if they don't have any friends or family members to decide who, if someone's going to pull the plug, if they've got no connections or anyone close to them, whose decision is it that they live or die? I mean, who's supposed to put themselves out to save this life?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, and who has an obligation to save another one's life anyway? Like, functionally, rights are only things that you can secure for yourself. And if you're unable to secure your own life, then, you just die.
So I'm going to answer the question. It's been asked. I wanted you guys to have a shot at it here. I don't know.
Don't know what?
I don't know
the answer to the question.
The question was, when does life begin? That was his original question, right, Ryan? And I'm going to say I don't know.
Oh, it's at inception. That's the answer. I mean, it's pretty clear.
Yeah, but when does it become a human being?
At inception. That's when it's life.
I don't know.
I mean, you combine the two.
Doesn't look like a human.
Well, a lot of people don't look human.
Yeah.
The reality is pretty simple. Human life begins at inception. People have rights from the beginning, but the thing is, if no one's there to fight for your rights, if nobody cares about you and you die, then that's very sad, but that's what happens.
Ryan, what do you think should happen to somebody who aborts a fetus?
Well, see, that's a tough question, right? Because should it be government prohibited, or should it be privately shunned? It's tough to say what the right decision is. I would suppose if we can agree that a baby or a fetus is a baby, and a baby, of course,
I can't agree
is protected under the law. Yeah, great. So then I don't think you would agree with that conclusion. But if someone did, like if we as a society did agree that a fetus is a baby, then that fetus should be protected and should have the right to not be aborted.
Why? I mean, why should any person have that right? I mean, let's say they're a 4-year-old. What right does that 4-year-old have to preservation beyond what themselves or their family can provide?
Well, because that 4-year-old owns themselves, and they have
I
the
don't
right
know.
to
Yeah, but if they
preserve
can't
themselves.
provide for themselves.
Own is a verb, right? In what way does a 4-year-old own themselves?
Well, in the same way that you own yourself and I own myself.
No, I put my own food in my mouth. I put my own roof over my head. 4-year-olds don't do that.
You can
stuff.
conceptualize the idea of it. A 4-year-old probably cannot.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, to what extent does a 4-year-old take ownership of their own life and is able to sustain themselves? They really are not able to sustain themselves.
They can choose which toy to play with on the playground, but that's about it. I think the answer that someone might give, I'm not saying this is what I would say, would be that one should empathize with the child that has no parents or has no one who loves or cares about that child, that one should be able to put oneself in that child's shoes and say, in that circumstance, one would want someone to swoop them up and take care of them, whoever that person
I think that seems nice on the surface, but
There's
might
nothing
be
wrong with that.
I think there is something wrong with
Really?
that. It's self-destructive. Because if that's your position, then you've got that times infinity. In the case of
all
all
the
the
kids out there.
abortions, in case of all the foster kids, in the case of a humane society and all the kittens that need your help.
And all
I mean,
the people who want welfare can't take care of themselves.
If you take that position, it's self-destructive. There's no end to it.
They couldn't do it.
You can't
save
the whole world. You can only save yourself and the people around you.
Well, frankly, prohibition, I mean, but what's useful to do? If you want to limit abortions, is it even useful to ban them? Or,
no, it just goes
no,
underground.
it's not. So it doesn't even matter. This whole discussion of when does life is created doesn't matter at all.
Yeah, that's true.
How do you reduce abortions if you're against them? And obviously, prohibition is not a way to reduce things.
I think the best bet you got there is persuasion, and
maybe
thank
money.
you for the call tonight.
You could buy the baby,
Ryan. I appreciate it, but again, you're going to run out of money real fast because there's a lot of kids that need help out there. Thanks for that. More coming up here. You can share your thoughts on Free Talk Live.
Do you feel like many of us? All the distractions in the world taking our minds and focus off what really needs to get done day to day? Well, Jeunesse has a dietary supplement called Mind to help with mental distraction, and it supports memory function. Go to gcnlife.com now to check it out. You're only at your best when your mind is at its best. Go to gcnlife.com or call toll-free 844-443-6637. That's gcnlife.com or 844-443-6637.
Join me, George Norrie, in Indian Wells, California, May 31st to June 3rd for the Contact in the Desert UFO Conference, an epic weekend of exploration into ancient aliens, human origins, crop circles, and UFO sightings. More than 100 lectures, panels, workshops, and events with leading experts like Giorgio Tsoukalos, David Wilcock, Linda Moulton Howe, Eric Von Daniken, Doc Wallach, and so many more. Get your tickets today at contactinthedesert.com. It's time to make contact. Contactinthedesert.com.
Hi, I'm Derek J. To me, an activist's calling is to actively work to advance a cause. The cause for which I work is personal freedom. I believe my life is best when I engage in voluntary interactions and self-government. I reject the idea that anyone else has a higher claim to my life or my body than I do. I see people who call themselves the government as a threat to my personal freedom. I realize you may feel differently, but my relationship with the people who call themselves the government is completely involuntary. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com. What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
This is a special alert for business owners, consultants, coaches, folks planning retirement, entrepreneurs, and anyone who is saving and investing to build a financial future. You are likely aware that financial privacy for most people has recently died a miserable death. And let's face it, without privacy, there really is no security, is there? Bankrupt governments and banks on the verge of collapse are perhaps the biggest threat to your financial future today. The Lighthouse Law Club recognizes this and has been working diligently to provide safe, secure, and productive tools to ensure your privacy, your financial security, and your future financial well-being, despite the catastrophes which many people fear are looming ahead of us. Find out more with a variety of free videos on the YouTube channel for Lighthouse Law Club. Just search YouTube for Lighthouse Law Club and secure your future today.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Hey, it's Free Talk Live. You are invited here to join us. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. You can bring up whatever's on your mind. 855-450-3733. Liberty.menu. It is a place, and it's exclusively for individuals who reject the initiation of force and those who agree to abide by the ethics of the non-aggression principle. Liberty-minded folks like libertarians and voluntarists have for a long time been looking for a site like Liberty.menu, a useful business directory, basically, for liberty-friendly businesses. And also, if you're an events coordinator or creator or a digital content creator, then you also belong on Liberty.menu. Basically, if you want people to know, people in the Liberty movement, about the thing that you do, post it on Liberty.menu because it's free. So the only cost is whatever time it takes you to go there, create an account, and post your stuff.
And it's fun.
Despite it being free, it's also got a very high signal-to-noise ratio. A lot of the stuff that's posted there is valuable stuff that I actually want to see.
Right, there's not a bunch of junk.
I'm not scrolling through endlessly looking for good stuff.
Right, and there is a bit of a social networking aspect to it, too, so you can connect with the people that use the site, and there's ratings and reviews and all that.
And badges, which are really fun.
If you're still hanging points. If you're still hanging on to Facebook just for the ability to create events and let people know about them, then you should really check out Liberty Menu.
That's what I was actually telling Rich Paul, who's been weaning himself off of Facebook recently, and he wanted to create an event for something. And I was like, well, why don't you just create it on Liberty.menu and then post it on the social network?
Exactly.
Post the link to your event on Liberty.menu wherever social networks you hang out.
Ooh, I'll tell you what, I deleted the Facebook app from my phone.
When?
And like 2 weeks ago.
Congratulations.
I did that years ago.
What about the other ones? Did you have any of their other apps? Because they've got like 3 or 4.
I have Instagram, which is actually very useful for me.
But I mean like the Facebook branded ones, because there's Messenger, there's the Facebook Pages.
I have Facebook Pages. So you inspired me years ago. I think you deleted the Facebook
Well,
app.
Derek's talking about spying. Like he doesn't like it because it spies and whatnot.
Oh,
but,
yeah, it does.
But I deleted it because everyone left there is it's worthless. Like none of the conversation is any good, and the only good person is this one memester who's totally awesome, Lou Feen.
We know him.
Yeah, he's great. He's the only reason to be on Facebook.
Doesn't he post his memes somewhere else?
He must.
Yeah,
you should ask him.
He should post it into the meme chain.
Or get like I've got a Telegram channel where I can post whatever social media update that I want, and it automatically, because of ifttt.com, if this then that, shoots it out to my Mastodon and my Twitter at the same time, so I don't have to go and update 3 or 4 different social media. I don't have Facebook anymore, so it doesn't shoot it there, but that's a way to like simplify your life.
Beautiful,
right?
That's cool.
Just connect that stuff together.
Maybe IFTT has a post to the memo.cache or to the Bitstagram, the permanent.
If it has like a webhooks, so IFTTT has integrated things for certain sites, but something that's newer like that, they probably don't have a specific integration for that yet. But if it's got things like webhooks, which is like some sort of programming behind the scenes that you can trigger things with, then you can do it. So that's how it does with Mastodon. The Mastodon is not specific to IFTTT. They don't have an integration with that. But since Mastodon has webhooks, there's an instruction set that you can follow to get it to work.
Cool.
So, love webhooks.
Yeah,
webhooks are the best.
So check it out over at Liberty.menu. We're going to go back to your calls and thoughts here. We got Gene. He's the Christian anarchist.
Yay.
On our Discord call-in lines in Tennessee.
Hey, I want to challenge this idea that rights are dependent on whether somebody cares about you.
Nice.
Because I don't believe that's the case. And if it were the case, then if there was some homeless person in the street, you could easily go up there, just stab the heck out of him and walk away because he has no rights.
But you could if no one cared about them.
I mean, what happens when a homeless person who has no family, right? Who a homeless person has no family that anybody knows of. Nobody knows who the person is. They don't have any friends except for whoever might be in the homeless camp with them at the time. And if the cops find a dead homeless person, how much effort do they really put into solving that crime?
If they don't care about them, none.
I am not saying that you couldn't get away with violating that person's rights, but he still possesses those rights by the fact that he is a human being. Now, whether you can get away with violating his rights is a totally different argument.
Okay.
So the rights exist. They exist.
Well, they exist in our minds. I mean, they're basically an agreement between humans, right? I mean, that's what rights are, and they're a good one. They're a good agreement.
And if you would ask that homeless guy if he has a right to exist, he would say yes. But if he didn't have the power to stop you from killing him, that doesn't mean that his rights did not exist. It only means that you are guilty of violating his rights. That's all it means.
Do you think that a person
Because if
has
you just say,
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm waiting.
Well, do you think that a person has to at least be able to conceive of rights in order to have them? Like
No,
this.
because then it means that mentally retarded people don't have rights. So
Well-
I know people that have mentally retarded children. They take good care of.
What about
Right.
dogs?
But people with mental disabilities have families who care about them. So maybe those rights are sort of like what's it called? Not
Their
transcendental. but you know
families
what I'm talking
are
about.
protectors of their rights.
Rights are not inherent to people. Rights are a social construct that we give to each other.
And it's a good one.
It's a great thing.
That's what you're claiming. That's what you're claiming, but you could be wrong. See,
Well,
now
I'm
this is
not
the
wrong. I'm not wrong about that. Look, rights don't. It's a meaningless thing. It doesn't exist in the actual physical world. It's an idea. It's a social thing that we give to each other, and they're great.
For anyone to claim that they're right on things is kind of a lot of hubris, because you don't know for sure you're right. That is your belief system, and you believe you're right. I have my belief system, and I believe I'm right, but I at least admit that I could be wrong.
Well, how could you? Okay.
You're not even admitting
How
that
can
it's
you
possible
prove that
you could
rights
be wrong.
exist? If what you're saying is rights exist,
I want some evidence.
then
Give
how
me.
can you prove
How
it?
can you measure a right? Like, what instrument would you use to observe a right and measure it using like some kind of scientific process?
Well, with rights, you're not going to get scientific process. Just like with love, you're not going to get scientific process. Try and prove through science that love exists.
Well, you could at the very least, I think, show chemical changes with love, right?
Yeah.
Like you could measure that in someone's body
you
when
can,
they're.
you can show that by eating sugar too, or
Well,
or-
yeah, but these are all
sugar's
observable.
real.
Right, these are all observable changes.
off of a bridge. Or
Rights are a
something.
concept.
Right. Okay. So great. Yeah. So there we go. Love is measurable, perhaps.
No, it isn't measurable.
I'm saying it is.
Well, there you go.
Okay, ask any scientists how they're going to measure love, and they're going to come up with they're not going to come up with anything.
They're going to have some
So
experiments they would run.
Just because you say it can be measured doesn't make it so. Now, rights came from somewhere. Now, they're either, I believe they come from our Creator by the very nature of the fact that we're human, but some people believe that rights come from the fact that we have a social construct that allows for people to imagine these things. Okay, so either way, the rights are there because of your humanity, the fact that you're human. Now, some people want to extend that to animals, but I don't think that you have a very good argument there. But you do have a good argument for saying that humans have rights because of their humanity. If that's the case, then you can't say that they only possess
Isn't
them
that
if somebody
circular
cares about them.
reasoning?
Yeah,
Like
but if there
humans-
was only one human, he wouldn't have rights because they're things that we give to each other.
Yeah. By the way, Gene, I did just quick search here. IFLscience.com headlines: brain scans can now detect if you're in love. The story from I don't know when, but it says here that after scanning the brains of 100 students, a third of whom were hopelessly in love with someone, scientists have managed to reveal some of the changes in brain activity that are related to love. Those smitten with someone showed increased neuronal activity in several brain regions. So, I mean, this is a simple matter of, scanning brains of people.
Maybe it would be with rights. Maybe that's a thing that you can observe when someone's granting a right to another.
Maybe you can.
First of all-
Science
first
hasn't
of
gone
all,
down
those-
this way yet.
I'll bet you any money that those brain scan results could also be duplicated showing something else. So to say that they're conclusively
It's just a
associated
study.
with love, I
It's
think
just a
is
study.
stretch.
Thank you for the
It's
call
just
tonight, Gene. I do
We
appreciate
have a lot
the
to learn
discussion.
about the brain.
Yeah, that's true. 855 450 free. And like you said, maybe they'll discover that rights are observable in brains, but not yet, at least. More on the way here. This is Free Talk Live.
Would you like to hang out with Penn Jillette? He's keynoting Freedom Fest this year. I, for one, am thrilled. Freedom Fest is the largest liberty-oriented gathering in the world. They take a Big Ten approach with libertarians, conservatives, liberals, anarchists, capitalists, and just open-minded people mingling together to hear real debates, share real solutions, and converse freely. This year's theme is the Wild West, a time of liberty and opportunity, or a time of anarchy and violence. Maybe both. Go to freedomfest.com/FTL and get your tickets now. freedomfest.com/FTL. Not convinced yet? Hey, I understand. It's a high-end event. Even with coupon code FTL50. Sure, you're likely to receive investment advice that'll make that sum seem paltry, but I have something special for you. Go to freedomfest.com/FTL and you'll get the 5 best speeches from last year for free. Call it a test drive. Do yourself a favor and go to freedomfest.com/FTL. freedomfest.com/FTL. Use coupon code FTL50 for a discount.
Do you own a timeshare? Well, you probably now realize it wasn't a good idea, and the financial strain it's putting on you and your family has you stressed, and you probably think there's no way out. This is Steve Sanchez, and you know I've been an advocate for hardworking Americans just like you for 27 years, and there's a way out of this financial nightmare, and my friends at Wesley Financial, the leading timeshare cancellations company in the country, can help you cancel your timeshare guaranteed. Being lied to, misled, and pressured into buying a timeshare doesn't have to be your story, but freedom of being out of it can be. I have a special free information kit that will give you the step-by-step process that Wesley Financial uses to get you out of your timeshare guaranteed. Call 1-800-501-6100. That's 1-800-501-6100 or visit stevesanchez.info. You don't have to have the financial nightmare of a timeshare any longer. Wesley Financial can help you get out guaranteed. Call 1-800-501-6100.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. The LRN.FM's social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is Free Talk Live. You can bring up whatever you want here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. Even in these remaining moments, there's enough time for you if you dial in now, 855-450-3733. Don't forget to head over to see more of Derek J. and Stephen on anypay.global or helpmetakebitcoin.com. You guys have a pretty active AnyPay Twitter account. Where else is AnyPay on like social medias?
You know, the best place people should really find us is in the App Store.
In the App Store.
Yeah, just get the app. See what it's all about. You know, this talk, just see it. Try it out. It's very easy and intuitive.
if you're a business owner and you want to take cryptocurrency. But even if you're not a business owner,
No.
if you're
It's the easiest way to accept cryptocurrency, because there's a lot of other people, they're saying, oh, well, I hate pulling up my wallet to receive money because then everyone can see how much money I have. I don't want that. Well, with AnyPay, it's not a wallet. It doesn't show how much money you have. And it's really easy.
It
and
just
also
allows you to receive.
Some other people, they're like, well, I don't want to carry around my money on my phone. That's dangerous. I want to keep it in a safe. Well, with AnyPay, you can receive money on your phone. It goes right into your safe or right into your bank.
Smart.
Yeah.
It's the easiest way to receive money, especially
so this is for
business.
everybody, is what you're saying. Anybody that wants to accept cryptocurrency payments, period.
Easiest way to accept cryptocurrency payments, and it supports 10 different cryptocurrencies, so it probably has the one you like.
Yeah, because I was starting to say recently that it's not just for brick and mortars. I mean, that's where y'all started, was focusing on like the brick and mortar businesses. But like if you're a service provider, if you're a plumber, or you're coming over to somebody's house, just punch in the amount on AnyPay, and then they can pay you with cryptocurrency.
Yeah, and it's way easier than other wallets.
And the money goes right into your Trezor or your exchange or wherever you tell the money to go.
So cool.
Or if you own a business and you have employees who are out in the field collecting payments.
Yep.
Well, you don't want them getting access to the money.
No.
You want them to just receive it, and then the money goes into your wallet.
So yeah, you can have this installed on more than one device, and it's super easy to do. Just search for AnyPay in the. Or are there other words they should add to it? Because I know there's
AnyPay.
You'll
Search
find
for
it.
AnyPay.
Okay.
You're gonna find it. You'll know it's the one with the cryptocurrencies.
There's that other.
It's the
AnyPay.
number one rated, number one most downloaded AnyPay app. There's a beautiful checkmark logo.
Okay, good. AnyPay, check them out. I love it. I use it all the time here in Keene, the crypto mecca. So let's go to Brian on the line in Wisconsin. You're on Free Talk Live, listening via TuneIn.
Hi, how's it going, guys?
Hey, Brian, you're on the air.
Hello. Are you there? Can you hear me?
We're right here. We got you loud and clear. Hopefully you can hear us.
Yeah.
All right.
So in I think it was the previous segment, you guys were talking about how rights could be measured by how much other people care about you.
Yeah.
Maybe to some degree.
We're saying that other people give you those rights.
Okay. So, sorry, I got the sniffles. So, I just wanted to know what your thoughts were about, like, when abortions happen and maybe the father doesn't want the child to be aborted and cares about, like, maybe deeply in love with his child that isn't born yet.
Man, that's tragic. Well, that's the case where someone cares deeply about the person whose rights are being violated. I think that person would have a real claim for a crime having been committed against them or the person.
I'm actually, like, I am pro-choice, but, I mean, that must suck if that does happen.
That sucks a lot.
Isn't that a crime? I mean, I would say you would have a good claim that someone
what's the payout?
I think these are actually going into courts recently. I read about some cases where guys were suing the girl that they knocked up. And I think it's working its way up. Yeah, for having an abortion when they said that they don't want it. And who knows what the common law is going to really say on this. And Derek might be right that this is a crime because this guy does care and he's an immediate family member.
Well, personally, look, I find it pretty ridiculous that a guy thinks that he has some sort of say over what happens inside another person's body.
I didn't say that.
I'm not saying you said that.
Yeah.
But that's basically what these guys are suggesting, is that they should have some sort of say over whether or not this woman can make a decision who they decided to, impregnate.
Yeah, it was their fault. Look, guys, you got to avoid sticking it in crazy.
Right. Well, exactly. There's consequences that come from that.
Yeah.
And this is one of them. And look, either way, the guy never has to carry this thing to term, so they don't have to deal with
it's not
whatever.
A health risk. This could literally kill the girl. She could die. And in history, so many women have died from childbirth. I
think that's pretty unlikely in modern day.
What about this, though? Do you think that
I don't know.
It's since pregnancy is such a dangerous thing and could be a health hazard, that a guy could have the right to terminate the child at all?
Absolutely.
No way.
What do you mean?
No one has a right to stick a sharp instrument inside the body
or
of another.
Pill, let's say.
No, you can't force anyone to do anything.
Yeah, you can't commit fraud against someone.
You gave up the sperm. It's out of your hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have the right to not ejaculate. in
All right,
certain
thanks a lot,
places.
guys.
Thank you for the call tonight. There, I mean, there's
great
other
call.
ways you can ejaculate if that's what you want to do, but we can't talk about that on the radio in great detail. But yeah, thank you for that. So, St. Louis, you had this story, Derek J.
Do you want more?
If there's more that you feel is worth sharing, because I've got the story here. I don't know if they cover it in yours, where they're interviewing the clinics in Wichita and in Granite City, Illinois. Where they're saying here at Trust Women Clinic in Wichita, they already are so busy they have to fly in doctors.
Oh my goodness!
So this is they're like, they don't know where they're gonna find the time.
They got to raise the prices.
Yeah,
so that way they can expand the operation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Get this out of the hands of Planned Parenthood. That's probably the first thing to do, because it's wrong that anyone who doesn't want to be paying for this service is forced to.
That's true. That's kind of the libertarian. I think the best libertarian position on this is that the government should not be involved in paying for or prohibiting abortion.
Yeah, I think a lot of pieces would fall into place if you got that out of the way, because then you've got church groups that would go to these women who say, like, hey, look, you want to have an abortion, right?
Mhm.
But we've got a bunch of people who donate a lot of money to our church, and they would just gladly pay
Take care
you
of
to
it.
keep this baby, bring it to term, we'll put it up for a nice family for adoption or whatever, and then you get some, it's weird to say this, but you get some financial incentives behind actually keeping a life
Yeah,
alive.
but then
that's going to change
you
people's
get,
minds.
But then you
It
get
will.
financial incentive to just have more babies. Like if you were like,
Not necessarily.
Oh, well, this church community is going to take care of me if I get pregnant.
Yeah, no,
and
no.
make them feel guilty.
That's what you have now. You have an endless supply of funds in the form of Planned Parenthood and federal funding to
which
give
is
abortions.
mostly private funding. Planned Parenthood.
Is that true? I don't
That's
know.
probably
right.
true.
It's like a
Sure,
small
even-
fraction is
Yeah,
government
I was going
funding.
to say
All
that
right.
I think
Huh.
Planned Parenthood will be just fine if
Okay.
if
It's
they
like
get cut
NPR.
off. Exactly.
You know, they
All right.
don't need
I didn't
government
realize
funding.
that.
They don't need taxes.
Okay.
I don't know what the portion is. I honestly don't, but I've supported them privately when I've gone. I needed STD tests done. I've gone to Planned Parenthood. They've
Nice.
been great.
Yeah,
Cool.
me too.
They got other things they do, right? Like it's not just abortion's just
Okay.
one of the things that they do.
I guess the point was I would like to see more of a market for abortions, because I think we'll get a more ethical and more open, transparent system that produces better outcomes.
Well, if you want
for
to
all
market, you
people.
got to get rid of occupational licensing. So like
Right.
Missouri,
To
it's
allow
this,
more
it's
people
this
to provide.
license concept, and we
Yeah.
got to get rid of that whole concept altogether.
Absolutely.
As a bigger problem, but it
Yeah.
applies to abortions here, and it's awful.
Yeah, I think that's it's true. And by the way, we can hear Rich Paul talking loudly in the background. I don't know if our if our listeners can at home, but coming up in just a few moments on our video feeds over at dlive.lrn.fm and at twitch.lrn.fm. I believe Rich and Aria are going to be coming up for an episode of Freer Talk Live coming
Cool.
up here in moments, where they can talk more about sexual things
Yay.
that we cannot cover on broadcast radio, and they can say words that
Will
we
they?
cannot say.
Do they, though?
Oh, I suspect they will.
They
Oh,
will.
great.
Oh, they're planning on
I mean,
it.
you were
Sure.
on a show with Aria
They've been
once.
saving it
we
all
didn't
day.
get that into it.
Yeah, but you got a little more explicit for
Okay,
sure.
good.
On that show, because it's it's internet only, so we don't have to deal with the pesky FCC getting in the way. And there's still just a few things you can't say, but there's way more that you can on these different platforms. So be sure, if you haven't yet, to go and follow us on dlive.lrn.fm. And that is our newest video streaming platform. It's purportedly decentralized, but we're not so sure about that. And then twitch.lrn.fm as well.
I'll just say it's not.
It's not looking that way. No. At this point, I would love for it to become decentralized. I don't know how easy.
How are you
that-
supposed to do that, though?
I don't know. It's tricky. It's very tricky. Live video
Decentralized
streaming
platform.
Yeah. not
Well,
easy.
there's all different components that you decentralize in different ways.
It's probably doable, but I'm not a programmer, so I don't have enough experience with like.
Also, decentralization is a gradient.
Right,
Now,
like
you-
how decentralized
Are
is
you?
it?
Yeah, and different aspects of centralization.
These are good ideas. We don't have time to talk about them tonight, but hey, guys, thanks for coming all the way out here to beautiful Keene and seeing us.
Thank you.
It's an honor.
Thank you. It's a pleasure always. And you guys are back once a month, so maybe we'll have you back after all the festivals are done in June.
Fork Fest, right?
Oh, wow.
Because we're going to be seeing you then. We'll have you on from Fork Fest, of
Sure,
course.
yeah.
And see you online in the meantime at freetalklive.com. The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
The latest episode of Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock is next after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,280, silver at $14.33, and Bitcoin is trading around $8,685. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, over the Memorial Day weekend, the Transportation Security Administration made an important update to its website. Activist Post reports hemp-derived CBD products may now be carried onto airplanes, but only under certain circumstances. The update has been needed after the 2018 Farm Bill legalized hemp and its derivatives federally. The lag in an update has likely confused users of both medical marijuana and CBD oil. It has been shown to aid users in treating anxiety, arthritis, pain, depression, and more, and is being used with increasing frequency to relieve pain associated with cancer and cancer treatment. Prior to the update, the TSA did not distinguish between marijuana and hemp-derived cannabis products, stipulating that cannabis products were not allowed in carry-on luggage or in checked baggage. While the website states that some CBD oil remains illegal and that TSA officers are required to report suspected violations,